Pretty is as pretty does. Pretty privilege is in the living room tonight. We're live on our IMITATES Live, y'all. Let's go.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Life with me, Tanya Dixon. You know how we give you the greatest in entertainment and news and talking forums, the whole nine. So tonight, no different. We're going to be going with What's the Tea in the living room in just a little bit here. You know, What's the Tea? We're going to talk about what it's like when you get tied to an airplane chair, what it's like when you freak out in Victoria's Secret. We got a lot of stuff for you. And in the living room, pretty privilege. Is it real? Have you dealt with it? The whole nine? We're going to talk about what it is and, you know, if you've experienced it and what to look for with it. So that's the living room panel that's coming through in just a moment. But first, you know how we do. We got to hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll be back to bring everybody in with What's the Tea in just a few moments.
Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Candyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Hey, yo, welcome back to our IMITATES Live. Now, I just did realize I got a lot of comments out there, but they're not for you all. Just sometimes Tanya has to wonder and worry about where she puts all the things where she wants to say. But right now, I want to talk to these people from the living room. So let me go ahead and bring them in, and you all go ahead and unmute yourselves and come on in. Come on in the room.
Good morning.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Say that
Well, y'all, we are here for yet another edition of our IMITATES Live. We got a lot to say tonight. You know, first of all, before we get into it, I want you all to tell me what your week was like. We'll talk about mine on the other end if the rosé hasn't gotten me.
Ladies first.
Yes. Shannon, what you got going on, Shannon?
Hello. I have been working on art forever, it feels like. I showed y'all this earlier, but I'm going to show it again because I'm a sucker for it. So I've got this, and then I'm working on this, which I don't know if y'all can really see it, but it's a hand like coming out of water, and it's got like rope tied to it. I'll be in a risque art show on the 25th at the Urban Art Center. And I found out I'm going to be the only painter there.
Really?
Everyone else is fashion and dance and all that stuff.
That's great.
And I would be lying if I said I didn't throw up a little bit when I found out.
That's good.
Because I'm really nervous about it.
You'll be one of a kind. Really?
Very true. So that's what's going on with me this week. Oh, I was supposed to be in a little video, or I say little video, excuse me. If Mike was here, he'd be like, don't you say that. But some type of movie or something. I was just going to be somebody in the background, but I was going to be on set today, like going off and on here, but it got canceled or moved. So I'm waiting to hear about that. So that's why I'm back in my nook.
In your element.
Around like I told you I was going to be.
In your element, Rose.
Weird stuff have been happening. A bunch of weird doors have been opening lately. It's I'm like,
okay.
all right.
I know you ain't mad about that. No.
I'm not. I'm just curious
All
about
right.
what happened.
All right. I ain't mad at you either. All right, Mr. Bernard, what you got going on?
That's pops to you, girl. Pops to you, girl.
Pops.
Just been doing some reflecting, getting back in tune with some of the things that of the past and just kind of like refocusing a little bit. Because, a lot of times you get like challenges, like I'm having a lot of challenges with this book as far as getting the artwork done the way I wanted to get done. So I decided that I found someone who could do it, and I'm just gonna let them do it. But I'm gonna give them like a little test run just to kind of see what they're doing. And I know I said it to you, Shannon, but I'll have to explain that to you later on what I did. But I'm excited about that. And, like everything I want to do with it, from the merchandising to a coloring book to giving people access to like things that may be outside my knowledge space, then I think what I'm going to do with those people as Pop's guide, where I talk to people, giving them wisdom about common day wisdom that your dad would give you, or your pops, what basically your pops would give you, refer those people out. So if they're like, let's say I might refer someone to like Bola, or, if they need some freaky stuff, I send them to Shannon. And they're just crazy. I just send them to Rick.
Wow. All right, then, Pops. Well, thank you for telling us what's been going on with you. We missed Miss Margo last week, and so she's joined us this week. How you been doing, Miss Margo?
A whole lot better. I just was kind of in a little funk about some stuff, trying to sort out my life and sort and reorganize my home and things of that nature, but just trying to restore peace in places that were a little too busy or a little too complicated. So making it easier for myself and getting back to me. Stuff that I like to do, the things that make me happy and take me put me in a special place. So trying to focus in on my little DIY and craft still. Had a party planning and book club stuff with my sister. We have a book club called Diamond Daughters, and we do have a Facebook page, but we're trying to get that back up and going, and our party planning stuff. So we rescheduled our big event to later this month. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's pretty much it. Just trying to do things here and there to keep on pace.
So I'm looking. All right. I hear some feedback. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Margo. All right, Miss Bola, what's been going on with you this week?
This week I've been working. Well, I finished up my nonprofit. So I set that off to be written up, done professionally for me. And I've been working on my coaching business and getting some videos out on my YouTube channel. It's called Spiritual Recovery Coach YouTube. And just doing some Facebook Lives on helping people, especially women, with identity and mindset and relationships.
Cool. All right, Miss Bola, doing you. Rigness Monster.
Hey.
What you got going on over there?
I actually went back in time on YouTube, looking up some videos of how Austin was, how we grew up with the actual original Austin, and I say that purposely. Videos from the 80s, 90s, from when ACTV was first designed, where Tanya, you first looked into the media of Austin Access, or ACTV. Just getting like a lot of visuals, putting them together, like to tell a story on what Austin was and what it is now. So that's currently what I'm working on. It's been on my heart for like so many years, seeing a place that I once loved becoming something that I can't even identify anymore because of the things that were taken in and things that were uprooted and things that were brought in and replaced. So Yeah, it's been very important to me for quite some time. It's about time that I told that story from my perspective. So that's on that right
No,
now.
that's right.
Indeed.
Proud of you. Very proud of you. Well, I myself, Tan J, we are, I want to say that we're enjoying a little rosé tonight. We changed up the wine tonight, but y'all,
A little rosaceous.
let's see how I'm talking in about half an hour, and then we'll see if this should be on Tanya's wine list or not. Other than that, this week I'm going ahead and making plans to shoot the music video for Hefe Soy. We're going to be doing that later this month, and still working on getting this podcast out there. Hey, to my manager, Lala, what's up, girl? We talk. We about to do a lot of stuff, and just everything is it's just turning the corner, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about things, so I cannot complain. I have anxiety because there's so much going on, things that I can't talk about, but it is speeding up, and so that part is wonderful that it is speeding up. And I see in the chat over here, I see that Michael, he's traveling tonight. He says a pretty privilege is definitely real, talking about the topic that we have coming up. And I see you guys in there commenting, and my friend Fonda, if she makes it in, she said hello to everyone, but hopefully she makes it in that I have given her the right link this time. Fonda, let me know, girl, if I have given you the right link, because I'm over here tripping hard with getting these links out. So, okay. I see that we, let's see, Charles Jefferson. I guess I should have on my glasses. Very insightful opening, everyone. Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you very much. All right, so all of you, you know how we do. We like to go in for what's the tea. I meant to do an opening for what's the tea this week, but it will be one coming in next week or the next coming week. So have his own opening like all the rest of the things in the show. But in the meantime, there's a lot of topics that went down this week. I'm going to just try to grab a couple of them and concentrate on some things and just see how you all felt about it. Did you all see this TikTok video shows a woman on American Airlines plane duct taped to her seat after she tried to open the door mid-flight? Did you all hear about this, or do you want to see it? Because I was going to show it to you.
No, show us the tea.
Yes, okay.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share it on the screen here because that tripped me out. Let's see if I can if I can get that particular story, because I have so many windows open over here. So let's see if I can do that for y'all, because it was a little bit off the chain, and then I'll read to you some of the details for that so that you can get a little bit more information as to why that madness has happened. Can you all see this?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, snap.
Yes. And so they said a viral TikTok video shows a woman. First of all, credit to Newsbreak, full credit to Newsbreak. This is their story. We're just sharing it on the show here. It says a viral TikTok video shows a woman duct taped to her chair on an American Airlines flight. The woman tried to exit the plane in flight and attacked flight attendants, the airline said. And the passenger who filmed the video criticized American Airlines for how they handled the situation. So,
that tape is real.
Yeah. She from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas to Charlotte, North Carolina. This was on Tuesday. So with that in mind, how do you all feel about something like that? Was that like a total invasion of her rights of any kind? I mean, how do you all feel about that?
Invasion of her rights. When
like,
they could have blown everybody out.
Yeah,
they killed everybody. You know, I think people who get caught doing the wrong thing, and all of a sudden they want to like get their rights established and stuff. It's ludicrous. If you hadn't did it in the first place, it wouldn't happen. So it's like cause and effect. If you cause it, and there's gonna be effect. And you know, most likely, if you act crazy, you're gonna have some bad things happen.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, I think she gave up her rights when she decided to act a fool and try to open it mid-flight.
Open the door.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with them using duct tape to hold her. I mean, who's gonna sit there and hold her, or they expect somebody to sit on her lap and hold her in a seat? I mean, I don't know. That's just they may not have had that happen too much to know what really procedures to follow to sustain somebody in a seat like that. But yes,
that's what I was
there,
kind of
right?
wondering how y'all felt about the duct tape.
Yeah, I wonder.
You're going crazy. I want to see you in restraints. That way
I just want to figure out who was the one that felt that they didn't handle it correct. Like, how was we really supposed to handle it?
Okay.
She want to kill everyone and open the door. How are we really supposed to handle it?
She would open the door. She would have been the first one out, and we would have closed that door.
Well, I mean, once you open the door in mid-flight, it messes up
everything. I know.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody would have been dead. Honest to God, like if that's the only way that you could control her, I mean, there's no. I don't know. I feel like Southerners think a little bit different.
But I mean,
I don't think so.
What did they want them to do? Sit on her so she can bite?
I don't know what they were expecting on that, because I know it was just how I would feel. You know, she would have to get tackled. You know, she would definitely get
tackled. Duct tape was the least thing they could do. That's real simple.
Well, you know, all they have to do is just all they have to do is put that in their SOP. Crazy people, you duct tape to the chair, and then they're being covered. You know, get it approved by the FFA. Yeah, no problem no more. You know what I'm saying?
Fonda said in the comments, she says, "Don't they have plainclothes marshal on the plane? Do they, y'all? I don't know.
Usually,
I know, Rick.
But I mean, sometimes they have them in like actual uniform, and they usually sit in like the first or second row.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess somebody wasn't on the J right away, and they decided that they had to do what they had to do. So, all right. So they said the crazy lady needed to be tackled and tied, and so that's where we have it on that particular story. What about this particular story? We're going to kind of go over a little bit to something else that I saw. Mick Jagger's adult biracial daughter he once disowned saved him in his darkest hour. Have you all heard about? He's got a lot of kids with about 4 or so different women, and he has a biracial child here. I'll just show her picture really quick.
Marsha Hunt, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. I'll show her just real quickly here. You know, give credit again to Newsbreak just to share this with you all. I just thought it was just a strange story, being that I didn't know he had as many kids. So when I started reading about the various kids that he has. I had no idea that he had so many, and so. There is a situation in here where I guess he was Jerry Hall. He was with her for a while, and he was kind of like, there she is again. But he was kind of like negligent to, I guess, her in that marriage, and that broke up. But there was a lot going on with him. As my understanding As my understanding, I'm going to take this off here. Take it off a screen share, but it's just my understanding that this is a kid that he just kind of ignored, and at a certain point he had to pay attention to this child again. So first of all, what do you all think about that? Celebrities or anybody, any men that just outright ignore their kid. What do you all think about that?
Well,
did he give her a reason? Like, was it just like, is she the only biracial child? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, regardless, like, why would you deny your child, period?
I'm not saying like that, but I'm saying like, because okay. So what I'm saying is like,
he does have 7 other children with 4 different women. And my understanding, when he got with this lady, he kept on trying to convince her to be with him and everything. And they got together, but when he traveled on, I think it just kind of broke up. That was my understanding. I'm still going to look here again, because I don't remember the story. I read it earlier this week as to why he felt he had to ignore the daughter.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if she's the only biracial child, and that's the reasoning why
that
he ignored her. I'm not saying that that's a valid reason. I'm just wondering if that is the reason why. If he had other biracial children, I'd be like, okay, then why just ignore her? That seems very, very strange. I'm wondering if that's the part that played in it.
Okay, let me say.
I'm surprised those are the only kids he has, because Mick Jagger was known back in the day to be out there. Everybody wanted him. I thought he was cute. I thought he was cute for some reason back in the day. A lot of women did.
A strange cuteness.
Yeah, real strange. I'm just the girl's blessed not to look like him, frankly. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Man, sit down.
That was an ugly woman.
Well, here's the deal. It says that the lady, her name is Marsha. I'm not sure what her full name is. Marsha Hunt. Okay, yeah, and he convinced her to have a baby with him. Okay, and he said everything was fine until a few months into her pregnancy, where he became distant, and then they welcomed a daughter. The daughter's name is Karis. In November 4th, 1970. Then it said even though she had to go to court to fight him to be a part of the daughter's upbringing, Marsha and Karis grew up under the same roof, and they were not exposed to the whole celebrity thing. But what really happened is there was a situation where Mick eventually found his way back to Karis at age 12. There was in 2014, when his girlfriend committed suicide, and I guess he went through something at that time, and he kind of found his way back to his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, sometimes it can take a tragedy. It can take a tragedy. I don't know the ins and outs about that, but my thing is, how could you give Marsha Hunt a hard time, Lord?
I take it that she's a very good-looking lady.
Woo! After seeing her in the movie Howling 2,
I
was like, yo,
wow.
And then the follow-up on her, like, I didn't know that Mick Jagger. I was like, Mick Jagger? Him?
I told you, these women back in the day, they loved them Mick Jaggers.
Yeah.
He was cute back in.
It was just the music. It was the fame. I think women are drawn to powerful men and very talented men, regardless of what they look like.
Right.
And it really is kind of a travesty that he manipulated this lady like this to have this kid, and then turn around and neglect the kid. That sounds like a serious power play. That seemed like he was like smoking his own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he just really manipulated this lady because he wanted to get what he wanted. She was like that one that got away or was trying to get away, and the only reason she would even consider being with a man like that if she had like a real commitment. So I think she was just probably misled, and unfortunately the kid is what they call kind of like friendly fire, or just in the middle of it. Which is sad.
Like Marsha being in the industry herself, I believe she was in the industry like in the I want to say the late 60s or the early 70s. She had a music career going on and stuff, as a matter of fact. Very powerful in the UK at the time, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And so being involved in that with cats that becomes a part of your peer circle or peer environment. I mean, you have access to people as such, and a lot of things going on from in front of the mic to the audience. So they're no different than us. They're gonna make certain decisions. That's not very popular. So consider him even any less than human would be wrong. But everyone's full of surprises.
That's for sure. Well, you know what? At least they found their way back. If they're happy, then we're happy.
That's all that matters. The connection.
All right.
They reconnect.
Here's another story that. Okay. Well, we all know about the rumors. I have to say the alleged affair that Alicia Keys had with Swiss Beats while he was still
Alleged?
married. Remember? Yeah, we're gonna say alleged. Yeah, we just
Okay.
have to
All
say
right.
alleged.
We can go that route. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. We're just being nice. We got to say that. So she's catching a little heat right this moment because she has a new role. She's producing a romantic comedy for Netflix called Resort Love. Now it stars Christina Milian and Jay Farrell, and the film is really kind of very, very, very similar to the exact rumors of what happened with her and Swiss Beats. Okay,
so sorry.
his dog is tripping.
I heard some balls. Is that a part of the show?
Is that boss over there?
I know. Well, you know what? I can't say nothing because my YouTube star over here is starting to act up now. And he's coughing to get my attention, so I might have to go get his Benadryl for him. So I think every week now, my dog thinks he's supposed to be a part of the shows because he's doing more and more every week.
I mean, he's the mascot. You know what I'm saying?
Give me a stick.
So let me get my show mascot ready. But
he won his prime time spot.
Yeah.
Did you just throw a blanket? What did you just throw?
I put a blanket
over him.
That's what he likes.
We lost all the animal lovers in the house. All the animal lovers, they're cutting us off right now.
He likes to be covered with his blanket. I mean, he will stand there and look at me and wait for me to cover him up. That is the thing. We must cover him.
I'm glad you explained that because, all the dog lovers are like, what the heck?
Yeah, you got to give them what they like,
Yeah,
I it would be different, But he likes that cover over him.
I mean, they can chase off them possums.
Don't be talking about my old possum.
I love her.
Which you still on that, huh?
I know, right?
I was like, possum got to do with this, but no.
I know, right? And so, listen what Fonda said. People forget that Julia Roberts did the same thing with her husband. On that Alicia Keys thing.
Oh, man.
I didn't say nothing. You all have any opinions on that one there?
I know someone who does. Hopefully she'll get on in a little bit. But, yeah, she's not too fond of Miss Keys because of that whole thing that went on between them two. But, I mean, hey, they are forced and they made it happen. I mean, what's wrong in someone's eyes can be right in others. But, hey. I mean,
hold on. You said her movie that she's making is reflective of the situation that she was in. Girl, she dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's like O.J. Simpson writing his book. Like, if I would have done it, like, get out of here.
If I would have done it, this is how I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see,
they got to make that money. They got to pay them bills.
Well,
look,
I was waiting for y'all to say something. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was waiting for y'all to say something.
Look, stories are ballroom. Stories in reality are ballroom. They need some kind of inspiration from reality. So why should they be an exception? Especially with them being in the light and all. So I guess they want something more interesting or more famous, since they can't do no wrong. But here we go.
I mean, it was no different than like what Jay-Z and Beyonce. They claimed that they had people thought they had an affair, but no one ever came out and really said that they were cheated on. You know what I'm saying? No one said they was cheating on, but they made a couple records on it and everything to go back and forth.
Well, there was some.
Say nothing. Him getting his face slammed by Beyonce's sister said enough. The whole public knew what was going on after he got popped in that elevator.
You'll be surprised. The interaction of two family members, like it could be it could be fiery, it could be something totally different. Believe me. The stuff that goes
Shannon's trying to say, she was gonna hit him in the throat. That's what Shannon's trying to say. I remember last week's hit him in the throat incident that got Shannon put her in Facebook jail. So I remember the hit him in the throat incident. So, but you know something? There was a situation, and it was kept very quiet, there's the situations that was with Aaliyah and Beyonce. Most people didn't know they were battling behind the scenes constantly.
Why?
Because there was a history with Jay and somehow with Aaliyah, and then she went to Dame Dash at a moment he really loved her, but she did have some type of a liaison with Jay at one time, and there's a lot of information. If you really look it up, you'll see there were songs that were made that if you play the songs backwards, they were telling each other off. They were really saying some foul stuff to one another.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of other alleged things that are going on that I have to kind of say alleged. I can't speak it out there like that, but I'll stick and say alleged because there was some talk of foul play. Even in Aaliyah's death, there's a lot of talk of foul play.
Oh, really?
So I think it's best that I shut my mouth.
Yeah, they're gonna be knocking
that.
on your door. Then somebody gonna be knocking on your door with them little tinted black SUVs gonna be pulling up.
Like, what was the time frame? What was the time frame? We talking about like 2000 or what?
What I best do is I best just find it for you. I think I have some of that stuff in my notes. I think I'll find it for you and share it with you because there was some actual videos that went into a lot of detail as to what happened during that time. I never knew that they were beefing so hard. There's some stuff on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there. There was some stuff here on YouTube too. I think that's some of the stories that I actually saw that were here on YouTube.
Who was beefing?
With Aaliyah and Beyonce. There was
okay,
yeah, there was some deep stuff going on with that. So
that's just odd to me.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to this next story, which is a little strange. Before we get to our really strange thing, Universal. This is another news break story. Universal is sued after a character uses a racist hate symbol in the photos. They say with the theme parks being high profile places to attract people of all ages, every move of their employee makes reflects what's going on with the theme park. So in detail, I'll go into detail and tell you all a little bit more about it. The thing that did happen with this character. And then just see how you all feel about this, okay? Let's just find this part of the story. Well, this is a little bit too long. Going over, this is the one incident that did happen here. See this, or do you all just tell you about it?
You freezing, Mama.
Are y'all here?
Yeah, you're freezing a little bit.
Oh, I'm freezing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why it was going on like that. Oh, I see what's happening. My internet was doing something just now.
Doing the wave, huh?
Yeah, I guess it didn't like the story. I've never seen it do that before, so I guess it wasn't too wild about that doggone story. So, but you know what? We don't have to go into too much detail about this. I'll just say to you, there's a situation. How to look it up. It's to the next. Is it doing it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? Is it doing it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Bernard, you're muted. Bernard, you're muted.
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Yeah, I wonder why he's doing all that. Okay. Yeah, because I can hear you all go off, but whenever I don't hear anything anymore, I say something's really wrong. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what that means. You know what that means? That means get the hell off that story. Was that out?
That means you shouldn't be talking about it.
That's right. Stop talking about that crap. Another quick story before I get to the main thing. Amazon will soon be able to watch you with radar while you sleep.
What?
Yeah.
Is that not me?
Yay.
They better not watch me.
It said last Friday, the FCC granted Amazon permission to begin employing a new radar sensor at the 57-64 gigahertz band, a green light nearly identical to an allowance given to Google back in 2018. So it goes into the whole details about the whole thing. What would you do? My question for you, just in general, what would you do if you had a device in your home? And I'll tell you right now, you already have devices in your home, you just don't know about them. But what would you do if you know there's a device that you definitely are being watched or listened to? Tell me what you would do. Would you remove the device, or would you just kind of like bear with it for a moment? How would you handle it?
No, it's leaving. It's going out of my house. I've got enough things listening to me and want monitoring me. I don't need one more in my bedroom trying to do some weird stuff. That's weird. That's weird. That's some weird stuff.
Look, electrical tape and or unplug.
You know, it's amazing. We have all these rights, but they slowly kind of like eroding because they use like fear, and then they use technology to answer the question to the fear or to be the solution. And technology, once you get technology in the picture, then it's accessible to almost everybody. It's worldwide. So, you know, I think the forefathers would be rolling over in their graves. They didn't know that you got all these ways for them to track you, the average citizen. They now can track you on your cell phone, even if it's turned off. And now you got like Amazon all up in your business. I don't think so.
That's my point that I really wanted to make, is that there are already devices. There's the smart TVs, there's the smartphones, there's the Alexa, all those different things that are already in your home. And they can do smart stoves, all of them. They can already turn them on right now and listen to you or view you, what you're doing. It's already happening right now.
What about the cars that'll drive by themselves?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I know exactly what you're saying.
But what does Amazon need to look at me in my bedroom for?
Make sure you got your delivery on time.
They better put it at my door outside.
You know, they make that joke. You're like, when Amazon delivers, they'll be like, I'm in your bedroom. It's already there. This is one step closer to it.
You know what?
If
that's the case, why don't they have the driver stick around and make sure it's there?
Okay. Instead of dropping it or throwing it at your door.
Yes, is that your with the echo going on?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No.
Bola, is it you?
I think so.
I'm good. It's the same as it ever was. But it's like they don't give us rights. They give us their plights, like making us feel to believe we have this and all the Constitution and Bernard mentioned forefathers would roll over. It's like they would roll over. It's more like getting in the jacuzzi. That's my own perspective. It's like all this is like pre-planned, preordained, but what can you really do about it? Not to say that we can't, but the matter is how could you go about it? Because you said what?
I said we need the grid at this point. Like we need the grid. Like, so how are we going to go about protect? Like, there's already people like you can have video cameras in your house for your like your Ring or something like that. Those are getting hacked all the time, and people are getting monitored all the time.
Appliances, even
baby monitors. People be watching and speaking and talking. Like I remember hearing a story that the one family could hear what the neighbors were watching, and they was watching some X-rated movie, and it's like, why is my stuff connected so I can hear what's going on at their house? So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you don't even think about that can be done by all these devices in your home. I don't have that many, but I'd say if they are watching, give them a damn soap opera. Make it interesting.
To me, it's like,
and then they're like, you know what? Just crazy. They crazy over there. Let's just, leave them alone or something. Right. But hey, if they watching,
I believe they're committed to studying human behavior. And the more that they study, the more that you know. It's like, going to a fight. You don't go into a fight without studying your opponent's moves. So we are considered their opponent, and the more they know and read us and understand us, they know how to adapt and know what it takes for them to
Control
get to us. Exactly. To control us, using devices, creating new devices, creating new means of further controlling us. But what is your point of controlling people that you really should be preserving and protecting?
Yeah, I really believe that. I mean, if the people really, really, really thought about it and really looked at things very carefully, I've spoken about this before, that we are considered sheeple. Dumb as rocks. Sheeple. Dumb as rocks.
Right on.
Useless eaters, and that we should be watched and controlled. And I believe that's how a lot of entities view us. It's just up to us to view ourselves better. I think there's been a great awakening. People are viewing themselves as worth it, and we're finding out these things. And I think that we're going to have a lot more uprisings really soon. Just like Rick, you were hitting me early this morning about Cuba. Cuba has a lot of people who are waking up now. And they don't want them to wake up, so therefore they're messing with their internet. They're doing all kinds of things as a means of trying to dumb them down. And just so, Rick, whatever you got going on over, everything you touch is loud as Jesus. Everything you touch is crazy.
Rick says I need to put ice in my drink.
I could probably hear Rick swallow, and it'll be like, it's so good. Great.
Hey, Dr. Bill. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna make it a point. All right, cool.
You're crazy. Okay, but you're crazy. But you know what? Before we get to the main story, I was hoping Bernard would get back for this one, because Lord have mercy, this story had me just baffled. I'm going to show the video, and I'm hoping that, since this video is widely seen on various people's social media, various stories, news stories, that it is not seen as some copyright material that's being infringed upon, because I've seen it so many times just this week that is ridiculous, But before then, let's see in the chat. I see over there in the chat, Charles is saying, listen, every move you make, every step you take, they'll be watching you. Yes. Oh, definitely.
Girl, can't you see? You belong to me.
I'm gonna let y'all sing
karaoke in the living room.
Go, all right. Come on, do that. But you know what? I want to get to this story. I'm waiting to see for a second, see if Bernard and Margo's back. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this story, because this story to me is the ultimate of what's the tea tonight. Like I said before, I really hope that we can play it and there's no problems. I'll give credit to everybody out there who aired it. Everybody.
Every single person.
Everybody who actually, I saw the news break. I saw the different entities. You have to see this doggone story. Okay, so let me go ahead and first of all, let me just say, have you all been out there seeing the woman who had a meltdown?
Girl, if you talk about this girl in Victoria's Secret, I just smack the camera about this woman's hand, and then listen, I have never seen a 2-year-old temper tantrum in a 40-year-old woman in my life like that.
What happened?
Show her what happened, because
show the video, show the clip.
No one can tell you, and it's injustice.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the whole thing, because towards the end, you got to see how it all turned. The thing is, when I saw it on news break, it shut off at 3 minutes, 19 seconds, so you couldn't see the end. You have to see the end of this, because it matters greatly. So again, it is my hope that it is okay to share said video, because we mother, and I'm actually going to share it from Viola Davis's Instagram. So many people had it on Instagram, but I'm sharing it from hers because I saw on hers. So thank you, Viola. Big shout to you for putting it out there, and we shall see this video now. Oh, wait, the sound. Can y'all can't hear it because I'm gonna do it again.
No.
Let's do it again because we want to make you hear this. Y'all. I'm sorry. Let me take it off for a moment and start it again. Let me take it off. Let me stop sharing and just start it again.
Technical difficulties,
and,
y'all.
Forgive me, Viola, for sharing your page like that. I know. Let me do it again and pull it up again. I think no disrespect to Viola Davis. I actually now I don't see the video. Maybe that's why it malfunctioned just now, that I don't see it. Maybe you all give me a second. I think okay, because I think DL had it as well. I think I saw different people who had. See, I don't want to share the one from Newsbook because they cut it off.
Listen, I googled White Woman Meltdown, and the second one is Victoria's Secret.
Okay, actually, can you share that with me, Shannon? And is it the one that's 5 minutes, not the 3 minutes?
There's one that's 7 minutes.
Oh, Jesus, Joseph and Mary, they got the whole thing.
Yeah.
The security guard, the cop that showed up, he looked so nonchalant, so unbothered. Like he like he's kinfolk to Droopy. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. What happened?
I love me Droopy. Why you have to talk about Droopy like that?
I'm sharing it in the chat.
Okay, share it in the chat. Okay, let me go over and get it. There we go. Let's see what happens.
They didn't Craig would have handled that way better. They didn't Craig would have handled that way better.
Oh, they didn't pay for Friday.
Mind you, the police showed up. This police officer, like I said, he was very uninterested. He was like Droopy, just I swear he was about to fall asleep like shit.
He said, y'all called me for this? I was asleep.
Right, basically.
Okay, let me get to the heart of it right now. I see that there's some other explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, it's about. Hold up, I closed it.
I think I see it now. I got to the part of.
My bad, that was me.
I'm gonna start it right.
Oh, you said something too.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's 36 seconds in.
Yeah, but they started at the wrong part, Shannon. I see the girl laying on the floor. We don't want to start on the floor. We want when she tried to hit the woman first.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Should have told me beforehand.
You know what? I had the video queued up, and it was all good. Let's see if we can find another one while we
Basically, she was this girl, the young lady, was having all kinds of tantrums and fits. And the lady with the camera said something, whatever, and the girl approached her and tried to hit her. From what I reckon,
like smacked the camera out of her hand.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let me just find it here because I think I just saw it. So you all talk amongst yourselves,
like
I'll go ahead and I'll find it.
Like what this young lady say? The reason they call you Karen because you caring too much about bullshit that has nothing to do with you.
No, stop it.
I thought that was like, yeah, that's you got all kinds. You got Karen, Carnicias, Ken, Cleophas. I don't know.
Oh wait, you know what? It was right here in my face the whole time.
Look at you.
Okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't expecting the clip there. It was right here in my face the whole time. So let's go ahead and pull it up. Get it ready. Get it ready. Get it ready. Rewind. Unmute. Share. And go from here. Let's see. There you go. Share screen. Okay. Here we go.
That's why I like this shit.
Okay, let's see.
I believe in you.
If it does it this time. Why is it not? Oh, there it is.
You now you are. Oh my God! Oh my God! Do you see this? Oh my God! I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she. Did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God! Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me.
Oh no, Karen!
Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God! Oh my God! You should have thought about that before you did what you did. This don't even feel real. This do not feel real. Would you please don't record me? Don't record me. Y'all had to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? Security for you now.
Oh, baby. I didn't know there was this much of it. I just saw where she passed out.
Oh no, there's a lot.
I don't know why this is happening to me.
I want to see you all to see the part what happens when she's acts like she's being threatened.
I'm scared to even approach her.
I'm like, why isn't the manager at this point
Stepping in at all? Like,
everybody's like bothered. You're not even moved by this. You're not even paying attention. Or barely.
No,
There's one. Oh, there's two.
No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away.
The real question is what initiated the video? What did she do to ignite the video to be put on her? That's the question.
Right.
You just don't capture the Loch Ness
Monster. Look, this is the part that really trips me out.
No.
Wait. This is my favorite part.
Okay. That's what I
was. The Oscar goes too.
Good.
In the lame Academy Awards for Best and Worst Actress.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it here for a few moments so that you all can see the chase down.
Fast forward to it. Oh yeah, no, you talking about when she runs around with her?
Actually,
that's
right. You are in Victoria's Secrets. What could you possibly?
Ma'am, you are in.
Yes, we're gonna find that.
We're gonna get out of Victoria's Secrets to cover that bullshit up. Rick, shut up.
All right. And I'm threatening
you can't put no sexiness over that. I'm sorry. No, that ain't Victoria's Secret. That's Pink. Or is that the thing for Victoria? I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. That's like the line up to the register.
Now this is the part that trips me out, where she starts coming behind her.
Crazy lady. Because she attacked me and tried to say I attacked her. Get away from me! Oh, y'all better get this lady! Get away from me! You're security! Look at this!
No, sister, don't run. The more you run, you're threatening her life. Don't run. Let her do something to you. You can feel secure.
Okay, I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I have had enough and enough and enough. That is just way too much for me. There's way too much.
By being loud and
oh Lord, so
let it be.
That really just tremendous. It just exhausted me. It exhausted me so badly.
But, it shows to the character of some of our Anglo-Saxon brothers and sisters that when they feel that they can get away with blaming an innocent black person, even though they did the atrocity towards that person, and then all of a sudden they realize that they kind of messed up, that they blame the victim, not the perpetrator of the crime. And this has been going on for eons, the last 400 years. So it's really kind of, I ain't saying refreshing, but I think it's eye opening that they really get to see the whole transformation from aggressor to victim to blaming the whole. Because if people didn't see this, they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it. If you just told them this happened and you said this happened to the store, they're like, nah, you just made this stuff up. But you can't make
I kind of disagree in terms of they won't believe unless they see it, because of like you said, this has been going on for so many centuries. It's pretty much they they'll step up to like, oh, okay, you're right, now that I see it. But this has been shown, and this has been taught for so many years. That behavior has been taught for so many years. It's not a matter of them being an eye opener. This is not an eye opener. This is just it's a reminder.
But I think what they have to do, we have to have the repetition. And what they're having now is they're getting a repetition of how they act over and over and over again. See, because you got to learn that the human mind learns through repetition. If they see it one time, even if they see it with their own eyes, they don't necessarily believe it. But after you see it day after day, week after week, month after month, now that us African Americans, we love our cell phones. We don't leave home without them. Okay? Now we can get you in the act of all that madness, all the craziness you're doing. Because that was so powerful about the civil rights movement. It was the first time that European America, white America, actually saw what was really going on in the everyday lives of the average black American, and how the evilness that they treated us back in the day. Now, all of us are like walking news stations, you know? We get everything on the news, everything. Oh, I got you.
Well, the real battle is between repetition and evidence. That's the real battle. Because you can do the same bullshit, and but having actual backing also ties into having I would say the balls and the ovaries to see for what it is and accept it for what it is.
Right.
Because this has been going on, for years. This is nothing new at all. And you can attach the repetition with the evidence. It's just a matter of the person that's willing to believe it.
The thing is, it's happening so often that it's ridiculous. There was one that I saw the other day that a friend of mine shared with me, and the man was delivering pizza. And he was let in by security into the complex to deliver the pizza. So when he got out of the car to go deliver the pizza, a lady came running up on him, and she was like, "You don't belong here. We have the gates here so that you can't come here," and all this. And she just went in and she poured orange soda on, to put the orange soda on its windshield and everything. And the security had to come, and the security was like, "I let him in to deliver the pizzas." And so it's just been so many. Some people just showing out. They're just showing all their ass,
But, I think they're showing their true colors to an extent. Right. I mean, come on, they're showing their true colors. No pun intended, but they're showing their true color because they've been mistreating us for. It's almost like the critical. Rewriting they have the audacity to say we're trying to rewrite history. No, we're just showing the truth. We're showing your face in live and living color. Now, if you don't like the picture, then change the picture. If you don't like the narrative, then change the narrative. If you don't like your behavior, then change your behavior. But don't go around here, blaming the victims that we should have had We should have called you and the security officer to get into the building. That's ridiculous.
They know all of this. They know all of this. They know who the victim is. And they know who
they in my position at the same time.
Look,
Like,
they don't want that. She didn't want that black man in her place. That's the bottom line.
Right.
If it was a white boy, it would have never happened.
You know something, it's just off the chain, just unrealistic to me, but it's all a little humorous. Yes, it's very humorous, but at the same time very sad. And I'm just hoping that people will watch these videos and do a little growing. Y'all, I'm looking in the comments over there and turn them loose. Mike he's going off.
Right?
Yeah, he said hi to everybody. Yeah, he said hello. Zombie-fied, blacked out in the living room. Tandy Land, Rickalicious, Bola, Element. Black is beautiful. Something that's misunderstood. Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, you know something? I actually am ready to go ahead and play the living room opener because we gotta move on to the living room now, you know, and do our full. You know, the T is gonna have its own thing in a minute, so y'all just hold on tight. The T is gonna have its own opening, and right now let's go ahead and talk about a little pretty privilege in the living room. Welcome to the living room. You know something? I done told y'all already. Did I not say when living room music or mini music is playing and your mic comes undone? Uh-oh, this turn them loose. Hey, Mike.
What up, Michael?
Hey, what's happening, man? What's happening? I'm chilling. I just damn it cut the truck off and sat down somewhere comfortable. So I'm late.
Say what you did is just save Rick and Bernard, because didn't I say leave them damn microphones off? Did I not say that? I'm about to go slam off until I saw turn them loose. So you just saved some asses right here live.
Hey, look, number one. You ain't number one. You're not gonna bash the fellas like that. Number one.
Yes, I am too. Yes, I am, because I'm TNT. I'm sorry. I'm TNT. She will always do that.
And number two, I know damn well the fellas was holding it down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna believe none of that.
You know what? You can believe what you want to believe, but Tanya holds the controls over here, and I will hit remove.
Repetition.
I will always be the one who holds the controls over here. Thank you very much. Now let's move on. Goodness. Pretty privilege. That's all I'm saying. Pretty privilege. That is the topic for tonight.
What was pretty about her and her behavior? Her and her behavior. Rick, shut up.
Whatever. I told y'all asses, y'all are not gonna be messing up my audio.
You found Victoria's Secrets and you telling everything about your wickedness. It's like, man, you
talking about the girl that this now.
He's still on the other topic, baby.
Maybe we left that.
I'm just saying.
Put that drink down.
Just in case your brother wants to revisit.
Yeah. You might have to put that drink down. Okay, let's really for real. Let's talk about pretty privilege in the living room. Let's get this discussion started here. First of all, just in general, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about when we're talking about pretty privilege is the idea that people who are deemed more attractive based on societal beauty standards have an upper hand in the world. Now, I got this from myimperfectlife.com, and I give them the credit for this article. I like some of the things that were said. So let me just read a little bit more here to you, and then I'll ask you some questions as we talk about pretty privilege. We want to know, is it real? And, I want to know if it has impacted you. Have you seen it or what have you? Like most other biases, pretty privilege is something we're all aware of, whether we have experienced it firsthand or not. Yet it's not often that we are willing to admit it, especially if we're on the receiving end of the benefits.
Right.
Nonetheless, various scholarly studies and surveys have proven that our appearance does in fact have a direct correlation with how well we are received by others in both social and professional settings. On top of sexism, racism, and ageism, all of which influence beauty ideas, where we fall on a physical attractiveness spectrum can determine our quality of life, irrespective of our personality, our skills, our talents, or anything else that we may have to offer. So with that being said, just the topic in general of pretty privilege, is it real and who benefits, or have you seen it at all? Let's just say in general, are you familiar with pretty privilege and have you seen any of that?
Absolutely.
Well, this is Bernard's topic. Yeah. So Bernard, you go ahead and
me personally, I've been on both. I've been a receiver and the giver. Okay. When I was younger and, had all my hair, I've seen where you might have a brother who was maybe a darker complexion or had bigger lips than me. They didn't have the chiseled chin, or they didn't have the high cheekbones as such as myself. Maybe been looked over. It played out in the club a lot, because you ask someone to dance and you go over there, she danced, and then a brother come back behind you. He might be dressed sharp just because he wasn't light or the right tone or the right look, or he maybe look at those days they had the the elder bars. The bars, was white light, almost white. They had the light was in the day, and everybody wanted the light skinned brother because they made pretty babies. That was real back in the day. Now you got it. Now you got it flipped around, and now black is back. They're down here bearing the truth now. So yeah, I've seen it, the total spectrum of it. Myself personally, it's real. It's real.
All right.
Anybody else? Yeah, pretty privileged. That can mean like a lot of things. Just like Pops was saying, it could be based on how you look going into the club. It also could be like your own self-awareness and your appeal, your confidence. Feeling to believe no matter where you go, what you wear, you're going to attract who you are. You're going to attract how you feel, regardless. So that's the true prettiness. Well, an attribute of prettiness, I would say. But even like how you look, like I tell my sons, if you're serious about the job, everybody's like dressing like any old kind of way, but you go in there with a sense of seriousness based off of your approach and what you wear. Don't be surprised if you get paid more because you took it serious. And you could be the youngest and took it serious, and they paid you more serious than everybody else. It is very important to have an upkeep and a standard about yourself versus society, because that's very subjective. However, you have to be your own subject matter and not really consider too much of what society says and thinks. You're your own vessel, you're your own construct, you're the main focus. So cater to what you feel and believe, what is beautiful about yourself. But of course, it doesn't hurt to exude that by tangible or accessories or clothes or whatever, because sometimes people dress how they feel. And you don't have to say much. Just walk into a room and you'll hear the silence. I'm pretty sure my sisters have experienced that as well. People shut the hell up when you walk into a room. Am I right?
Yeah, I see some pretty girls over here. I know y'all was those pretty girls, so y'all know. Don't be quiet. Say something.
I'm gonna let you know.
The solace is damaging. Is damaging.
Yeah, make sure
they're guilty. They're guilty. They got the pretty privilege. They're
not
guilty.
really at all. I've never.
Especially Shannon.
You swear to God. You swear to God. I didn't know. Okay, listen. That's why you don't judge books by their covers, because you end up looking like a fool. So when I was back home, I was actually made fun of a lot. I didn't have any time. Like, this whole pretty privilege thing is so like crazy to me, because I didn't know like that I looked good at all until after I graduated college. Like, nobody sent me the memo. Nobody gave me the email to let me know what was going on or how pretty I was. And I mean, maybe that's my mistake for being with men who in the end, they were not on the same level as me. So there's a certain amount when you're not on the same, when you're on a higher level than some of the men that you're on, they degrade you in a way, because it's a self-conscious thing that it's like y'all know what I'm saying? Like, they disrespect you in order to build themselves up.
Well, they put you down to build themselves
up. So there's like a certain amount of me. Like, I was not aware of anything like that. So I've worked hard for everything that I've had. I've never had a sugar daddy. I never had no man step up to the plate for me personally. And I've never been one of those girls to accept drinks from strangers at bars either, unless I see it made. So
the thing about that is like, it starts from within. You can wear what you want, but there's no sense of confidence. It really is not going to matter what you wear, how you look at the end of the day, because people can you can look like a baddie all you want, but if you're acting like you willing to give in to any kind of attention, the looks means absolutely nothing. If you are
exactly, I can't tell you how many times I've walked up to a man and go to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, I would have never talked to you because you look so intimidating." Like, people do not speak to me in public because I make sure I have my resting bitch face. And you don't approach me unless I like, you gotta have a full, I better be holding up a sign that says, yes, please speak to me. Because other than that, nobody's speaking to me.
Let me back up. Hold on. Let me back up. You know, I should have worn my other shirt tonight. I do have a shirt that says, "Excuse me, I'm talking." I really should have worn that one. You know, because I'm dead ass serious, and I will make sure to wear it next week. My question that I really wanted to ask before this kind of took off: do you feel that it's something real, and do you see it around you? So we're already getting to that, because I want to just kind of take it from there. Like, some people, since they have not experienced it, they think it's a theory, but I think it's real too. I want to know, like, Shannon, you started talking about how looks have played a part with you in some way, but you have ignored it. But has anybody else seen how it's played a part of your work or your business or anything like that? Have you seen any incidents where pretty privilege has played a part in that? Kind of give me that.
Now, you said as far as pretty privilege in terms of your appearance, right?
Yeah, when it comes to your work or anything, how that has manifested with coworkers. Michael?
I will say this. No, I will say this. And I'm just gonna keep it light. You know what I'm saying? Because I just finished driving a long drive, and I got a couple of hooks in me, but I'm gonna keep it real. Cheers for everybody that's got drinks.
Well, actually, I'm drinking my rosé.
In the military, and I'm only going to speak from my experience. You got to understand, I went from high school straight into the military. So for the last 22.11 years, I've been in the military. You can have a ugly motherfucker that's got the smarts, the brains, the je ne sais quoi, as they say, and yeah, whatever that word is, I probably messed it up, but you can have the ugly motherfucker, and I'm talking about ugly by society standards, right?
Right.
Okay.
And they not meet the societal standards of what looks presentable, but they have the knowledge, right? They have the brain power, they have the vernacular, they have everything that needs that a person needs to have to be successful. Yet you have someone who has a certain look. Where my phone at? Okay, right here. Look, I'm trying to do my air quotes. Right? And what'll happen is The ugly motherfucker by societal standards is now partnered with that person who has the look. And what will end up happening is the bosses or the people in charge will say, for example, I'm just going to use myself, Bernard, and Rick, since we're the fellas tonight. Okay. So they'll say, Mike, you ugly than a motherfucker. You black, you dark skinned, you have the knowledge, you have the political, je ne sais quoi and all that bullshit. But then they'll say that Bernard and Rick has something special. The only thing that they have special is either they're lighter skinned than me or they look better than me. So they'll pair me with them to make me feel good and be like, hey, I'm going to pair you with these guys. And I want y'all to team up. And then you'll have the boss to come in and says, I'm going to let Bernard take the lead on this project. You're part of the team, but Bernard's going to take lead. They're not going to tell you, hey, man, you ugly than a motherfucker, and we don't want you doing this thing. So Bernard's going to take it because he has the look that we're looking for.
Right.
And I've witnessed this in the military. Out of 22-something years in the military, I've witnessed to where someone will have the brains, and this is both male and female. So I'm just using us because, of the men, because 1, 2, 3, 4, we're a little short compared to the women. But anyway, so they'll sit there and say that they'll give us that whole false sense of hope that we're important, but then they'll put that person out there that has the look in front, and they'll make you try to feel like you're a part of something, but no, they'll put that person out there that has a look. So Bernard is in front, right? Basically, we want your ideas, we want your speech, we want your talent, but we don't want your looks. So since Bernard's got the look, and I'm not, or Rick has the look. Sorry, I don't want nobody to feel singled out, but Rick has the look. We're gonna let them take this project, and they're gonna try to make me feel as good as possible. But basically saying you ugly than a motherfucker. That's what they're saying. And Bernard and Rick has the look that we need, and we're gonna let them lead the project. And so it happens, right? It happens.
That's a fine.
And that's just from my experience as a male. I guarantee you, I'm not a woman, but I guarantee you, if a woman has certain features that does not necessarily agree with societal views, she's not going to get put in the forefront. But you bring somebody who has either a societal face or shape, they're going to put that person in front, and they're going to tell that woman who has all of the ideas, the brain power, and everything else that's behind the scenes, they're going to try to make her feel as important as she can, but she won't have the face on it. The picture. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do. I've never had to deal with
that.
Yeah, I've never had to deal with it in that capacity, but I have seen what you're talking about. I mean, at one time, it was a lot of things based on the hue of your skin, not just like being black, but how black you were. That's something that I have seen. I think for me, because I have been out of the corporate world for so long, for me, mine is a little different. I might get to work with a client based on looks or something. There's a curiosity that's there. The only time that I've had a hard time is with a girlfriend or a wife or something, how the whole dynamic changes.
Right.
Now they know I'm a female because they've heard me talking on the phone with their mate or, whatever.
But it's once they see you, though.
Right. When they see me, it's a totally different thing.
I relate to that.
Yeah.
Right.
It
and
changed.
I have experienced that.
I relate to that a lot. Like, people will call me in for interviews or whatever. And I've had a lot of times when I've gotten a job based on so I get along with dudes a lot better than I do girls a lot of the time. But I'll be called in for an interview. I got this one job one time, and I got told that the reason why it took them an extra week to hire me on is because the other girl that I was going to be working with wasn't sure if I fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is that? And keep in mind, like, she's skinny midi, like, model, like, she's like 5'8", you know, and she's like real thin and real slender and stuff. But she's like on the fashion side, and she was just like, I don't know if she would fit in here. And she gave me a hard time, like a really hard time the whole time I was there. You know,
that happened to
really
me one
hard.
time, but it happened to me at church. I was visiting someone's church and in Austin, and I see Tashiba coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and let her in here. I was visiting a church in Austin, and I was just happy to be there and fellowshipping with the people that were there. And the pastor or no, whoever was talking to the people actually stopped and singled me out and said
Wow.
about my looks and that I don't know any better, and started trying to downplay me in front of the whole congregation. And I felt like I could just crash
This was
through the
brand new.
floor and just oh, it was the most humiliating thing I've ever experienced. And then a person came to me after the church and just said, it's not your fault. You know, don't be down on yourself. It's not your fault that they have a problem with how you look, how you present, or whatever, you know. And I was just so happy to be fellowshipping, and then I was so embarrassed how they handled me. So what I learned from that is that people can be cruel. Can be cruel as hell. And to me, the saying is, you know, from my parents when we're little, pretty is as pretty does. And we were having this discussion earlier this week. I think, Michael, we were talking about how people can be very attractive, but their whole demeanor can be so incredibly ugly. Is that you can lose sight of how they look, you know, because their whole demeanor just takes you somewhere else. You know, what do you all think about that before I start asking you some other questions?
I mean, absolutely. You know, in my dating years, I mean, you would meet, you know, several young ladies, and they were very, very attractive. But as soon as they open their mouth, you're like, ugh, like, dang, like all this vileness and all this evenness and all this, you know, like condescending. And then they like walking around here like they created the earth themselves. And that was a real turnout. And then you could have a lady who we consider maybe plain and be beautiful on the inside, be like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with her. I might smash with her, but I'm a wifey her. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, you know, when you get a degree of maturity, like say in the dating scene, then all of a sudden you know that looks only could take you, looks can get you in the door, but they won't keep you in the house. You know what I'm saying? And look to get you open some doors that might be necessarily close to someone who may be a little bit deemed less attractive to cultural norms, but they'll never keep them there, because at the end of the day, especially in the corporate America, it's all about making that check. And if you're not productive at the end of the day, you're going to be out. But in other industries like the modeling business, you know, image is a whole different thing. They don't even want you to say nothing. As long as you look beautiful, they just use you as basically a coat hanger, and they put clothes on you to sell their product.
In my
first of all, I'm gonna say hello to hold 1 second. Hello to Tashiba. How you doing?
Hey,
welcome to the forum. Welcome.
Okay, Bola. I've been on both, and I've seen it from different angles. Like a lot of people I'll talk on the women's, especially on the women's side. A lot of women who are pretty, they'll have men approach them, not because the man wants to get to know them, but they want to sleep with them. So those pretty women put up a defense. So they come off looking ugly when the guy talks to them. But it's just really a defense that they do. Because a lot of times we don't know if that woman has been raped, stalked, or whatever. And she does things to put up a defense. So less men approach. And in the workplace, I mean, having that look or nice look, also racism plays in it. Sometimes you can go far with it. There are women who sleep around because they know they can get to the top that way, because that's the only way they're gonna get it. Because I know when I was younger, a lot of my male bosses would try to see if they could see how far
They
they
can
could
go.
go. Yeah, and it gets to be frustrating because you're like, I'm not, people are not there always to do that.
Right.
Well,
But then at the same time, you can use that to move on because you let that person think, hey, they got a chance. You move up the ladder the way you need to move up and not give them anything. So,
I will say
We're
this
going to
real
talk
quick.
about the good side of that. But I'm
Real
going to
quick,
put
Mike.
Michael, but you go Rick. You go Rick and then Michael.
Real quick. It doesn't matter what industry. It's just it can be any industry, but the perversion remains the same. Period.
Okay. All
Always
right,
has.
Michael. I want you to, first of all, Michael, I want you to explain your comment that you have about, because I couldn't really read it, where you were talking about Phil Mob, and then
So
tell us what your comment is.
Field Mob is like
I know they
is a
are.
okay. If you know Field Mob, then you already know they have a song called "The Blacker the Berry," right? The sweeter the juice. Listen to that song for anybody that's talking about the difference between, if we're talking about our melanated people. Field Mob has a song called "The Blacker the Berry." Listen to that song, and and you can form your own opinion about that. But that song, to me, should be the theme song for what is it? Pretty Privilege.
Pretty privileged. Okay.
Right, right.
Right.
But I because we're being all inclusive, then it might not just be you know what I mean. He talking about black people, black of the berry, sweet of the juice type tip. And then if we're being all inclusive, then it may omit some people. And that's the thing about the world today. You got to make sure you ain't offending everybody. But you know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well,
Pretty privilege.
I think
All I'm
they
saying
get
is this.
socialized at a young age, though. Too, if you be looking, if you just take your kid.
You breaking up?
Okay, I had a very handsome young son, and yeah, I have a very handsome young son, and you can see how I can see how he got treated versus other kids got treated. You see the pretty little girl, and you see the not so attractive, and it not necessarily has to be anything with the skin color. It can be like they got pretty eyes,
Features,
pretty lips,
right?
They have pretty features and stuff. Versus the little girl who has a plain feature, or the little guy who has plain features. People tend to gravitate, and they'll say, "Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. You're so handsome. You're so handsome." In the meantime, they're not saying nothing to this other child. They're not validating this other child as a human being, as a person. They're not looking at the inward that this child is cute on the first glance, and the first interaction is that this kid is so beautiful. And this kid, I ain't gonna say nothing about this kid because they don't feel a certain beauty quotient or beauty level that to cater that type of attention to. And I think that hurts some kids. Some kids never really rebound from that. You know what I'm saying? They have issues from childhood on how have they been treated.
That's because, think about this. From the time you were, man, I can go so deep on the dimensional levels of society, but I'm going to keep it right here what we used to. Society like this, and I think we talked about this the last time when we were talking about the size of men and or women and what's attractive or not. Society has placed upon us a standard of beauty, right? To where BBWs has to be mentioned by famous people just for it to be a thing for people to sit there and say that it is good. But if you were born in society were broadcasting big beautiful women, and the big beautiful women were the thing of beauty, and skinny women were the thing that was, like,
not attractive. Yeah.
Every person on earth would think that a woman 300 pounds or plus was the bomb diggity, and that any woman that was under 300 pounds was like, ew, right? That's the thing.
Media.
So that's one aspect. But what I was getting to was the fact that when we talk about the pretty privilege and all of that, like it's all based off of the majority. And if you look into the whole social psychology of things, most people go with the majority or the crowd because no one wants to be an outcast. Everyone wants to be accepted and part of the group. 100 people.
Well, let me ask you. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say 100 people can have a certain viewpoint and be 100% wrong. Mm-hmm. But because it's 100 people that think like that, that one person that opposes them could be right by the universal standard or God's standard. But because 100 people agree different, that one person that typically is probably right by the universe or God standards will be wrong, because social psychology will tell you that the desire to be part of the group outweighs what is right or what is wrong. Y'all following what I'm saying or no?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Okay, I have a question for you. Let's flip the script just a little bit here. And when you mentioned Film Mob, I've interviewed Film Mob.
I did, because that's the whole dark versus light skin.
Listen, let me just say something on that. I'm gonna flip something for you real quick, because Film Mob, Sean J and Smoke, I always thought that Smoke was very attractive. He's the darker skinned one.
He's the lyricist too.
Yeah, he's crazy. I was saying to my truck, he just jumped in the back of my SUV. That's before I had interviewed him by then, but they just crazy. But they, something about that really makes me think about this whole thing here. If you're talking about skin color, now he was real dark, he was real attractive. Why does it flip when it comes to dark men, that people think that they're so attractive, but if it's a dark woman, it's not the same?
I think dark women are beautiful.
It's by design. How they constructed the feel of, like in Cosmopolitan magazine, if you don't look like this, if you don't look like this, the skinny built woman, or if you're not light skinned, as it were back in the day in the 80s, if you don't fit this vernacular, then consider yourself unbeautiful. What's this song Beyonce did, babe? About
Pretty
that
Hurts?
Your own, huh?
Pretty Hurts?
Pretty Hurts.
Every time we talked about this whole thing, Pretty Hurts kept playing in my head.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's bad enough, like, young black girls choose the white doll over the dark or the black doll, it's all in the mind. It's all in what.
And that's what your parents did too, because my parents put black dolls in our hands.
The teaching.
Yes, they put black dolls in our hands, and so therefore I was used to that. There was when we did have white dolls, it was just like, oh, okay. But I remember I was in love with my Drowsy doll. Ooh, I love Drowsy. How many of y'all know about Drowsy? Y'all know about Drowsy? Oh my God!
I know about
Drowsy.
I'm a Barbie girl.
She looked sleepy, and she like this. So she's I'll show it to you what they got. Still have Drowsy. I still have my dolls when I was little, and I remember that they had my Drowsy for me. And then one year they changed her clothes, because they knew I loved her so much, and I guess they didn't want to get me a white, but they wanted me to have a Drowsy doll. And so to this day, I love my Drowsy. I had Chrissy, I had Velvet. I had all the black dolls. I had suntan Barbie, but I had the black Barbies. I had all that, the pageant, the beach house, everything. But they were black dolls. My parents didn't play that. They wanted us to know more pride for ourselves. But we also lived in white neighborhood, integrated neighborhoods. I integrated more neighborhoods when we were in North Carolina, which was not an easy thing. They wanted me and my sister to know about living around white people. And they wanted us to know so that we could adapt to different societies. So we And so when I was young, I used to think that I was ugly because I went to school with all white kids. And it was at a time in life where the white kids didn't talk to you like that. I mean, they'd befriend you, but they didn't holler at you or anything like that. So I thought I was an ugly kid until the one year I went to the black school. And that's when I learned that. That's not okay.
That's what I learned too, because my community was very diverse. I was always one of the only Black children in the classroom. And so it was difficult growing up, having good self-esteem growing up, but my parents didn't want to live on the other side of town. And so as my sister and brother came up, more Black people start coming to our side of town. But when I was younger, it was tough. I wore my hair plaited. Boys used to pull my hair, call me Medusa, stuff like that. But it wasn't until I got into college where it was a lot of Black people, and it was like, oh, hey.
Yes, that happened to me too. Because I've spent 1 year at a black school. My 10th grade year, I was in a magnet program, and so I went from dating nobody to dating the football players, and then back to 11th and 12th grade year, I'm back to going to school with a lot of white kids, and then end up going to University of Texas. And so I had to gain that whole blackness thing from somewhere. So I was always around these kids that had privilege. So I didn't have to know about pretty privilege because these kids had financial privilege. Those were the friends. That's who you went Christmas caroling with and pajama parties with and everything. So it became something else to see in my later years, to see this pretty privilege thing, these people with their looks. And I started learning about it when I got to the University of Texas. That's the first time I had seen people that were Creole and everything. I'd never seen that before. I came from the East Coast. Who are these people? I was like, what's this race? I'm sorry, Shannon, I didn't have any idea what Creole was until I got to Texas. I'm like, they're Spanish? No. They're French? No. Yeah, I didn't know what it was. So
I know. I grew up in, like you guys, in the white neighborhoods. And what I found was, like, the white boys, the girls I hung out with, the black girls, they loved us black girls. They love black women. It is the white women.
They were scared to say something at first.
Right. It was the white women, because I know a lot of my white girlfriends say, oh, I used to be honored that a white boy. And I'd have to remind them about slavery. It's like, hey, your daddy used to rape my mama, so let's not talk about that. But yeah. So
you sure are pretty to be a black girl.
Say that again.
You sure pretty to be a black girl.
I heard that
honestly, a lot of white men love black women. They're scared to approach.
Yeah. And a lot of black men love white women. It goes both ways.
Let me say what it is about white men.
It go both ways. It go both ways. Y'all know damn well
it does go both ways. That's not the point. The point is this. The point is,
Mama talking.
The point is this. Yes, there is the whole thing about thinking that a black woman's going to shoot them down because we have so much confidence. We have never had media telling us that we were beautiful. We had to tell ourselves. We had to carry that ourselves. So therefore, some of it came off as an attitude. There was a confidence that you had to have because nobody was going to tell you that you were beautiful. And so we have always known that black men will go away, but that's not new. So we're not debunking that. Go ahead, Tashiba.
I was just gonna say once I was able to tap into that confidence, I used my full femininity to its potential. So then I did become a part of that pretty privilege, because it's not always just about what's on the outside. It's how you're vibing, what you're attracting to you. When you get to a certain level, you're gonna attract it. You're gonna attract it all. And so, and to this day, if I can get me a free drink and my husband is sitting at the table, I'm gonna do it, and he's gonna do it.
Tashiba.
I'm not paying for my stuff in line, and he's standing next to me. And you know what? He'll tell them, "Thank you." He will tell
you know
them,
what?
"Thank you."
Let me just say this, and then we need to check on the chat.
And I'm very smart.
I know that's right. We need to check on the chat in a minute here, but let me just say this. Tashiba, based on what you're saying, there's a certain power that you can have to execute your own thing. Like you said, people giving you things or what have you. But you know what? You can make anybody, male or female, if you're coming off the right way and then you're exuding the right type of confidence, that makes pretty also. You can make people do anything you want them to do.
You can.
How about that?
I have women tell me all the time, if you weren't married, I'd kiss you. But I think they'd kiss me anyway. And the only reason why they won't is because they know my husband.
I think y'all getting it confused with finessing. I think that's more finessing than like.
No, it's like, no, when you
about images.
Darling. When you have
I'm just being frank with you. You know,
people darling, you don't have to finesse people when you have a certain charisma that comes. Sometimes it's the look, okay? Sometimes it's the look by itself. But sometimes it's charisma that comes. You can finesse you make people do anything you want. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything to them.
At all. Because I know
but images are important. Image, when you can't not like overlook an image. Because people have certain images that they can consider as beautiful. See, you can't see so many people overlook images. Like if you dress like a whore, I'm gonna think you a whore, okay? If you dress like a lady, I'm gonna think you a lady. I'm gonna approach you differently how you're dressed and how I perceive you as what you're wearing. I mean, men are visual, especially when it comes to men. I don't know about women, but when it comes to men, we are visual, okay?
You're not getting it. You're not getting it, baby.
No, I get the ambiance and stuff, and that works.
Baby. One mouth, two ears, bring it down. Let me talk to you and finesse you on something right here. Because you ain't got to say nothing. When you got it, you ain't got to say shit.
I know back in the day when me and my friend used to go out, we go to the restaurants. We wouldn't have any money because we already knew somebody was going to pay for us.
Yeah. Right? When going out to bars, I never.
So tell me,
all my homeboys bought me rounds.
How were you dressed when you went to the bar? You wasn't looking tall from the floor up.
I wear my shortest shorts and my flip flops and a t-shirt.
Thank you. I can go to the store now in a pair of sweats and a t-shirt.
Hello.
Or even with my California style, some ugly Ugg boots and some shorts and a t-shirt, no makeup. And
try to do that weighing 300 pounds.
No, listen.
I'm not
do that weighing 300 pounds. I'm not do that weighing 300 pounds.
I'm not three.
Wait a minute. What you trying to say, Bernard?
I'm 245, and I still
300.
Hold up. Let me get down to what Bernard said.
You guys.
Let me go ask him a question before he get his ass beat in the living room tonight. What you got to say? Tell me, Bernard. What you got to say? Are we going one-on-one? I'm gonna whoop your ass again tonight. What you got?
Look. I can roll all day long.
Way off.
No, I want to talk about what he said. I want to know what you said.
Way off.
Because this is another point where you brought up weight. Like we're bringing up weight.
I've seen some big women who have the
when we talking about pretty pictures, we're talking about an image.
No, hold on. And that varies. It varies. It's varies. What you consider
I can
big,
still get a man to do whatever I want him to do. Whatever. 245.
Got you, Tashiba. All right, Tashiba. Rick, what was that you were trying to school Bernard on? This is old school.
Personally, I don't think I'm that bad.
Hold on.
You don't have to say
I recall this. Now, like a lot of people act like image is not everything. Image is an attribute.
Watch this.
Let that be told. I remember when I would frequent this one spot called here in Dallas called the Slip In. My God. the slip in, and I've been going there since I was 22.
That just sound nasty.
No.
Yeah, it do sound
You already explained your mind.
Rick, I'm stay your right here. Rick,
I ain't mad at you, but nonetheless, there's a spot called the Slip In. I'm frequent it, and my wife, she finally decided to go with me after going there for like almost over 10 years or so. And the line was long, you dig? And I even know the bouncer. He's like, hey, man, I'm sorry, bro. It's like da 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 da. So I went back to the car and I brought my wife.
We got in. We got in.
No. We Hear me out. We didn't just get in. Hold on, I got this, baby.
He said,
no, we didn't get in. No, we were snatched. We were snatched from the back of the line, which is in the parking lot, to the front. Even though it was at capacity. My baby had them at her
disposal.
Herself. She had herself. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. The representation means a lot if you're trying to get somewhere. That's just the way it is. That's just what it is.
Whether you're going out on the street or whether you're in the boardroom, whatever. Right. You don't have to. You don't have to be dressed like a hoe to get what you want.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. In fact, more classy.
All I was gonna say was, I got some people that's here that that can validate the whole military thing about one person having the knowledge and the bureaucratic knowledge and in the vernacular to do everything else, but the other person may have the look. I was going to use my partner, but he was like, nah, he didn't want to do it because he's a pretty motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I was just gonna show y'all like the difference. I mean, I'm not a ugly motherfucker, but there's certain people that have certain things that a job. I'm not gonna say the military because I don't want to talk bad about military because I'm still in, right? But in a job career field, man, like if you like it happens whether you male or you female. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I see it from being a darker skinned brother to a light skinned brother in the workplace, and that's within the type of job that I do. We'll just say that. In any other type of deal, if it's a male versus a female, whatever the look is, whatever it's going to generate revenue. Right? Think about the company, the owner of the company, whatever's going to make them money, right? And whatever the thing that is the hype, they're going to go with the hype to generate revenue, right? And then my next question is, and this is just me being me, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't play devil's advocate. In a sense where I see that it is a male-dominated society, women come into the play and they feel like there's that glass ceiling. There are some women who use their assets to play the field to gain progress or the upper hand. If you disagree, please speak up on it and tell me that I am totally wrong. But there are some women who know that they can wear a certain outfit or they can wear a certain blouse, and that will get them further to where, further along if they were just dress conservative.
So,
or whatever.
We all know, especially if you're in corporate, we all know at least one woman in the office that's been found underneath the desk. We know at least one.
But
I'm gonna get Bernard real quick.
What movie was
it? I'm getting Bernard who go to Bola.
For exceptional women who have confidence and the je ne sais quoi, these rules don't apply to you. Like Tashiba, Tandy, Bola, Shannon, they might not, because you've discovered yourself, you know who you are, you know your feminine power.
That I do.
But to the when we talk about period, we're not talking about for the exceptional sister who's confident in herself or the exceptional woman who's confident. To me, that's sexy by itself. Drop the mic, okay? But to talk about as society as a whole, what they look at what is pretty and what is not pretty, what is handsome and what is not handsome, then the tendency is to lean towards the prettier or the handsomer, the handsome guy. And that's just a fact of the society we live in. Now, as we mature, we learn that it's not all about that. It's not all about the looks. It's all about the personality. It's all about the heart. It's all about the character. But until we reach a certain maturity, a lot of time, especially growing up, all the boy bands, all the women just going wild all over the boys, and they're so cute and stuff. For example, the Beatles or the Jackson 5s, or you look at Vanity 6 and stuff. We're looking at these beautiful individuals who are portrayed in front of us every day, and a lot of people are holding them up as standard. They're standard to some people because that's what the society as a whole or a majority of people are looking at them like that. But to get deep, it's going to be a whole. Beauty is only skin deep. Ugly is to the bone, how they say it. But you got to look at pretty. There is pretty privilege out there, regardless.
It is. That's what I love
just
about
out there.
That's what I love about my city.
And to deny that it's not, I don't think you live in the real world.
That's what I love about my city. Living in a place like Atlanta, there is an abundance of Black people of different shades, different shapes, different professions. And I think I've gotten comfortable in this space because not that pretty privilege doesn't happen here, but it happens in different ways here. You don't have to just be a certain skin color. You might be just a certain status or what have you, and I've seen a lot of things here, and there's a comfort here. And that's one of the reasons why I have made my home here, and I have not left here. I've been over 20 years now, longer than I've been in Texas now, and I was never from Texas. I just lived there at a certain point. And because there is that type of a comfort as to any type of look that you have, there is an acceptance, and I can dig that. You know what I'm saying? So there is still pretty privilege, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But it is definitely a different type of comfort level. In Texas, I honestly felt more biases. I did feel more biases there in Texas, and totally different from what I feel here in Atlanta. Living in Austin, like I said to you, Rick, just a couple of days ago, Austin was even conservative in a way that it didn't give me the kind of comfort that I needed there. So it had other even more factors came to play. But it depends on where you are. You will see a change in that privilege.
Right.
But it does exist. But Bernard almost got beat up for this a minute there.
I know, like with the police, it plays a big effect because pretty women tend not to get tickets.
I know.
Okay, I will say I've used that many times. I cry real fast.
Pretty privilege.
I'll be like, no. Especially if it's a man officer. I'm not even about to lie. If it's a man officer, I'm fixing to flip some hysterics real fast because they just don't know how to deal with you. They just
You don't even have to do that. You don't have to do hysterics. You don't have to show skin. If you just look.
I never show no skin.
Somebody's phone was repeating. Okay. All you have to do is just look, and you're like, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of what's going on. You play your feminine thing. You eyes big.
Officer, what did I do?
Oh my God!
You did this. Well, I'm just going to give you a warning. Okay.
Thank you.
Now you have the rest of the story. Yo, look, where my mic at? I just need to drop it. Like my phone.
Okay, now
y'all just said it.
Let us try that shit. Let us try that shit.
I mean, just get the right officer. I'm sure you could.
Sorry.
Right, get the right officer. Yeah.
Nah, it don't work. It don't work.
No, hold on.
But we need to hit the chat. So.
Hey, Alcifer, yeah. Was I speeding? I'm sorry about that.
You're reaching for a gun?
You can't do that.
Did you just have? Wait. Velcro, just like some Velcro there, ready for it.
Oh my
God!
You can't show a kneecap and get away with that shit. But that's the thing.
But Rick, you don't have to show anything.
But that's the thing.
I ain't never shown a damn thing.
Y'all have the upper hand. Y'all have the upper hand.
Yeah, you don't have to show anything. Yeah.
And the ticket.
Hey, Shannon.
Hold on, what you say?
Shannon, you might join the chat because there's some people that I don't know who is who, but you might get hitting that chat for us real quick. We've been kind of ignoring it just a little bit, you know.
It's just Bernard and Mike mostly.
Look. Hey, look
I'm
here,
not
man.
even lying. Charles Jefferson did say, here's this: growing up, I would often be told by my parents the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But everything else is Mike and Bernard. I'm not even lying.
So, hey, look, man. So, look, all it is this, man, is when we get on the show, are people willing to talk about the truth? What is the truth? If you witnessed it, speak on it. Talk about it. If you're a person who's benefited from it, share that shit. Because people
I know I benefited.
You know what I mean?
Well, nobody said we did it. We just like
they finally messed up.
It's not as powerful. We're just saying it's not as powerful. Well, I mean it is, but it's like,
oh come on.
Well, like me personally, like for me personally, like the most I've done is get out of a ticket. Like I don't have all my shit I bought myself. I don't have none of that at all. Like I need somebody to train me how to finesse because I'm like out here suffering. Somebody find a sugar daddy that can deal with my mouth. I don't want no sugar.
It's just attitude. It's attitude. Yeah. It's how you approach. It's just.
But I'm telling you, when you have a certain type of sex appeal, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to toss it. You don't have to throw it in someman's face. You do not have to show them. Yeah, I mean, but you have to develop that in your womanhood.
Yeah, you have to.
Right. You do not have to do anything. It just exudes.
So when it comes to pretty privilege, who has more of the advantage, men or women?
Women.
Yeah.
Definitely women.
Bottom line.
Hands down.
Hands down. Drop them.
Girls just want to have fun, y'all.
Okay.
Say that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sandy Lauper.
I missed that. I missed that. I missed the comment. What you say?
Girls just want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Girls just want to have fun.
Well, you know what, y'all?
What? I had one more question.
Okay.
Oh no.
I know, because we talk about a male-dominated society. If a woman is the CEO, do you think, or if it were reversed and women were there, do you think that do you think the men would have the advantage or the upper hand, or would it still be women that take the lead on pretty privilege?
Women.
Yeah, it's still women.
Because women have a sex appeal about them.
Right. It's gonna be women.
Because as a female CEO, I'll say this. You know, like I have said before with my shows and the different things in my company, I've had a lot of bad chicks and bad dudes that have worked with me, and it's equal opportunity. We've had they used to call real life shows
equal opportunity.
It's equal opportunity, you know what I'm saying? And when I lived in Austin, my show Real Life, they called that the show with the pretty people because we had males and females, you know. But I like to have a squad. I like a girl squad. that is stepping. I'm not intimidated by it. I'm like, dude, I like a girl squad that is
they're all we're all a reflection of each other.
Yeah.
So I agree.
When women step up as CEO, you'll find that all the other women will step up in their dress, their character, the whole thing. I mean, they come in there with the red bottoms, 100%. They're not gonna be coming because they're not becoming half stepping. Okay.
Why is the reason? What's the reason? I can tell you why. What's the reason?
Competition.
One reason. No, it's not competition. It's not exactly that. It's the fact that women dress for women more than they dress for men. Everything that I go to here in ATL, you go to females, there's the nines. You better not step in there.
Exactly.
It's competition.
Like getting married. It's like
I gotta look better. The woman always has to be the head be in charge.
Yeah,
there always has to be a head be in charge.
Yeah, women socially are very, very competitive. Socially, when it comes to dressing and looking good, men are not so much that competitive when it comes to dressing and stuff like that. Although we do have some metrosexual type of males are coming out more and more often, but women are hands down. I mean, I've dealt with some women CEOs and stuff, and when they coming out, man, they coming. Everything is like they dotting their I's, they crossing their T. There's not a hair lash.
And you better not coming there with the same outfit on.
Oh my God! You know what?
That ruins the whole. That ruins the whole night. You gotta go home. You gotta see if you got some production of
I remember we came up to. I was in Austin. We came up to Dallas. It's like 3 of us. We all have different shapes. Well, my 2 friends, they were about the same height. We all saw this outfit that we liked. My one friend would not get that outfit because the other friend was getting the outfit. I said, I don't care. I got my own. I said, nobody's got the shape I got. So I was able to get it where my other 2 friends would always compete. They would not want to wear the same outfit, even though they had different shapes.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to wear the same outfit somebody else has on either.
You want to go, you want to leave the party. You want to leave. Is there anything in my car? Do I have anything in my trunk? How close am I to home? How close am I to a store? You want to change clothes because that has ruined your whole night.
And see us guys, we don't care.
Why does it matter?
We don't care.
Well, I'll say this. I do appreciate the fact that women uphold a certain standards amongst themselves with their own vernacular, with their own style, because they want to be original. They want to stand out. How can another man pick the rest of women out if they all look the same? What stands out?
But Rick, all they have on
personality, Rick. They all got different personality.
And they got different, everybody has different shapes. People are different heights. So different men are going to be attracted to different women. So it really doesn't matter what. That's why I used to tell myself, I don't care about y'all. I'm one of a kind.
I'm sorry. I like the whole package. That's the Libra thing about me. But I like my whole package to be together, If somebody got my outfit, that's taking some of my package.
I almost said what Jimmy just said.
And it depends on if it's on the same day or not.
Okay, Margo, you got something? Margo, you got something?
Me and my sister do a lot of stuff together, and sometimes. I know a while back, Urban Music Festival, she didn't even notice that we sat so close to somebody that had on the same outfit, and she was like, "Oh snap! Like we need to move." Like, cause I know I'm wearing my outfit better than hers, but I can't sit by her because we don't look. She's gonna be like, "Are y'all twins?" And that's gonna embarrass the mess out of me. She's like, we gotta move. We gonna mess the whole night. So I get that,
to the other side.
The majority of the times the outfit we pick, the outfit
Yeah, women
that we
will
pick
do.
and choose. That's more so we doing it for ourselves or the other women, but to get noticed and get heard, it just
I mean,
depends
I'm,
where
I'm,
and
I'm
what we're
here in
wearing it to.
Nashville. I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I see bachelorette parties every day. Every day there's a bachelor party. That bride will not be upstaged by her bridesmaids or anybody in there. She'll have something different and make them all wear some aqua green color or something. And she got her beautiful sash on, her tiara on, and she will not look the same. You can go down Broadway right now tonight, and the bride will be looking different than everyone else.
Treating her like she's all white after Labor Day.
So do men have the same?
But
Do men have
sometimes you
the
have
same
those.
issue?
No, because you go to a bachelorette party and they don't care.
I
They don't
don't
care. The
know,
bachelorette
but
party, they don't care. They don't care.
You know, the thing that I think is really funny is how, I don't care what kind of shoes or somebody else wear, but my outfit, like I said, I'm a shallow ass Libra, and I'm sorry, Margo. I can't talk about all the Libras. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about just me.
we
I'm
not.
shallow.
I mean, everybody has those moments sometimes. I don't think it, but
Vain.
not completely shallow. But sometimes you have them little thoughts and little moments, and you be like, yeah, she probably shouldn't have wore that like that. Like I got that same outfit, but I'm glad I didn't wear it tonight.
Because as a Libra, we got a little
but I
princess
mean,
thing
I
going
doubt
on.
that dudes have the same issue because they halfway. I mean, it's hard for them to find many different things to wear as far as women have so many different choices. But yeah.
Most dudes, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Most dudes, when they go shopping, they look at the mannequin, they look at the outfit that's on the mannequin, and say, "Give me that
All right,
outfit."
I can wear that.
Look, Mike,
I'm gonna let you know.
Mike and Bernard, we don't go, brother, you wearing plum and red, bro.
Yeah, not at all.
It really depends though. Like if I like the girl, I'll be like, oh shit, we twins. But if it's somebody that like I don't know, I'm gonna be like,
handshake real quick.
I got a question.
Okay, Bernard.
Okay, outside the heterosexual community, how did that fit as far as the LBT community? Do they have the same thing about wearing clothes, the same clothes or not? I mean, I'm not in that community, and you guys are in different big cities. So, do the guys like if they wear the same thing? Do they trip or?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I got to know to speak on that. It's only appropriate to ask that of that community. And that's it.
No, but see, I got a lot of good Judies, and so I can speak and say,
I don't know. Same outfit as me. Like that's the first thing.
You will get your eyes scratched out. I'm sorry.
I agree.
You get your ass torn up. You wear something that they wear in a way. Try that. Try that. Okay.
I'm kind of like, I feel like Rick on that one. Like to speak for someone, that's not necessarily present. But my guess would be if they identify as a specific thing, or if they relate closely to a specific gender, then I imagine they would take on the traits of that gender and feel the same way and have the same thoughts about it. And I'm going to leave it at that.
I don't know. Maybe it could be that, but I'm going to tell you this. A lot of my friends, I have a lot of gay male friends, and my gay male friends, they want to shine. They come to do it. Okay. Right. And so it's just like, they're taking the pride in that somebody else is taking that shine. Oh, bitch. The beach. I'm sorry, you have just ruined their night. I can't say everybody, but maybe some of my friends might be that way. I know that bitch ain't wearing what I'm wearing. You might hear something like
that. That's the first reaction I heard in my head.
Yeah. I know we can't speak for them,
but I can't speak totally. I'm just gonna say that in general that I feel like there is pride in dressing to the nines too,
Right.
Not for all. My friends.
To speak to that, baby, go ahead.
Oh, well, what I was gonna say is Well, our son takes pride in being an individual, standing out, having his own style, and does not like for anybody to wear what he is wearing or to try to, even though he's becoming an influencer, he has people that they want him to represent their clothes, but he's definitely like, I know they don't have, I know they're not trying to. He might sleep and say something, but he'll be like, "Oh no, they're not."
Right.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying. My experiences very similar. Very similar. It has been the same. No, can't speak for the entire community, but just my experiences with my friends. I wish you would try that. The Cedric Entertainer wish factor. Remember the wish factor that said he has? Cedric Entertainer wish factor.
I mean, this show is about our opinions. This show is about our opinions and how we relate to life. So you can absolutely speak about what you've seen, what you've heard, and what you experienced. Now, it would be great if we had somebody here to come directly from their point of view. But that's why I asked the ladies and I asked other people what they had experienced from that community. So, it is what it is.
It goes both ways, male and female, but from a male perspective, or I can say from my own perspective, it's just best fitting the femininity of those that are within the that community in particular to speak for themselves. But yeah, man, I feel that as well to a certain extent. I feel like it's only appropriate for it to come from the world. Someone that's a part
and
of.
Perhaps we'll have that. So perhaps we will.
Hopefully.
Okay. Yes. And I'll tell you this.
It's kind of get a little choppy.
Okay. What's that now? I couldn't hear because it's broken up.
I personally don't. Oh,
Okay,
hold on. Give me 1 second.
Boy, you gonna get all types of pulled over.
I'll say this. I personally don't give a damn about the clothes, but I do have a problem if another motherfucker walk in there smelling like me. So if hey look, if I got on Burberry Touch and somebody else wearing Burberry Touch, I'm about that motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that now. I ain't nobody gonna be smelling like that. So
what you do? Go live smelling folks?
Ooh, what? Oh, I keep
Listen, it's getting hot up in here. Everybody has their own signature scent, even if they have the same bottle of cologne. It's not gonna
sound the best. He said, "Yeah, he wore that same cologne, but it's better on you though."
He knows.
But still,
Mikey said he knows.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think you're really smelling yourself, Mike. You're really smelling yourself.
Hey, you know what? Hey, it ain't the cologne. It ain't the cologne that's your concern. It's the pheromones, because your pheromones.
Yeah, hey, look, and you're right. You're absolutely right. I've heard it before.
Cologne, it's not going to work for everybody. Yeah. Pheromones at a certain level. Now your pheromones match your confidence.
Okay, Rick. Yeah. Rick, if me and you riding in the same car and we finna go to the club because we finna turn them loose, right? And you be like, damn, man, I ain't put no cologne on. Let me get some of that. I'm not passing you my bottle of cologne. No, I don't give a damn about the We're not about to walk into the same club smelling the same.
You gonna let your homie walk into the club stink?
He said, "Hey, you better wear some weed."
Girls don't like that. If you walk up on two dudes that came in together and they smell exactly the same, that's a turnoff. That's a turn off.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a big old cloud. Somebody
better smell like cucumber melon, and somebody else better smell like strawberry fuchsia or something. I don't give a damn. But y'all better not be smelling the same.
What will you do? Let me just ask you, Mike, what will you do if they are smelling like you?
Shit, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going home.
He said he's gonna buy them.
It ain't even perfect. Nope.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not even gonna try.
I think that we need to table that for a next discussion.
Mike, you finna pass up. You finna pass up some women because you smell like the next dude. And the activation of that cologne is not going to be the same. It's not.
Why?
9 times out of 10, if I'm at the club where they at, that's because I know that they gonna always be there. They catch me next weekend.
Then you should be leaving the club often. You should be leaving the club often because there's a lot of cats up in there having the same cologne, but that pheromone mixing with that cologne, it's like
totally different.
Totally different.
Pheromones do make a difference, but I try to make myself as different as possible, and I buy the stuff that I think that ain't nobody else gonna wear. And if somebody smell like me, I'm leaving. That motherfucker he got the upper hand. I'm gone. Bye.
Wait a minute. Okay, I've been missing all the damn comments because I have my glasses on. Why was I terrible Tandy? What happened, Bernard, that I became terrible Tandy? What the hell?
It's too late,
My name is Bennett. As long as my name is Bennett.
I think that was the part where you was like, I'm taking over. This is my mic. I'm taking my mic and go.
Okay. Oh, man. Well, yeah, okay, we're back. I guess it's when we're going into the living room. We're going into the living room at a time. Okay.
What do you do?
Yes. I'm serious about that microphone thing. I will fight you.
There we go. Terrible Tandy. There we go.
You're getting dismissed.
The possum lover.
Look, now y'all know
Tandy the possum lover.
Teddy can't see because Teddy could see none of that with glasses off. So I missed all of that, but okay, y'all. Great discussion tonight on pretty privilege. I think what we have come to a conclusion with is that yes, women definitely have more incidents of pretty privilege, whether it be in a professional setting or in a personal setting. And that yes, guys do have it too. If you all watch like shows like Love Island, okay, like I get obsessed sometimes watching those shows. I gotta see what's happening. I can't believe I'm watching that particular one, but I am watching that particular one. If you all watch Love Island that comes on,
yes, I love me some Love Island.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
I love me some. Listen, I love me some pretty white people drama. I love it. I love it. Bring it to me. Now we're a hot mess. I don't understand half of it, but because I don't get into that type of drama, I just don't keep that type of drama around me. But dang it, is it so good to watch them go through it?
I like to like it. It's just really entertaining. So I've been watching that. Of course, I watch Big Brother every year. So, and it's always, you have to see, of course, again, it's pretty privileged. Even on Big Brother, you see a lot of these shows is the same way. So I do agree that it is out there. And then we all have talked about our own incidents. What we try to do, as usual, let's offer a few things for the public before we check out. Let's create the scenario real quickly here. Someone who is dealing with pretty privilege on the downside, and their job is they're not moving any further. Something is being threatened in their lifestyle in some way. What kind of advice would you give them in that situation? Because that's what we do here on AIL in the living room. What do y'all think?
Well, I think that what you should do is go inwards, healing, developing your self-confidence, daily affirmations, believing and knowing in yourself and your own abilities. Because what that does is that I'm a huge proponent of law of attraction. So when you bring positivity to you, when you focus on you, when you believe in you, it doesn't matter what anybody else believes, but when you believe in you and you exude that confidence, then you're going to attract the jobs that you want. And it may not even be in the place that you are. It could be outside of the place that you are. It doesn't necessarily, just because you have your eye focused on that company, you have to widen your scope. So when you start um, building self, then you open up avenues for more things to come to you unexpectedly. If you focus on that girl is pretty, but I got all these skills, and that's all you can think about is I got all these skills, and you're focused on that person, you're projecting on that person. Start focusing on self and working on self, and things will come to you in a way that you would have never expected.
Right. No, I mean I'm on her boat.
I think also on the legal side, if you're facing a situation that you are being discriminated against in any kind of way, just like they keep documentation on you, you need to keep documentations on them, on specific incidents, who were there, who was located, what date it was, what time it was. Because if it comes to something like a unrightful termination or something like that, because it's not room for the both of you, and they eliminate your job or terminate you, then you got to know that you might have some legal recourse, but you ain't gonna have any legal recourse if you don't keep your records.
Right. So I would ask this. I would ask this of the group and anything else. Does pretty privilege only does it only succumb to physical features, or spirit? Like they say, hey, you got you can have an ugly face, but a pretty spirit, or beauty is only skin deep and ugly is down to the bone and all that other stuff. But
it's physical.
Like
it's physical. It's obvious. It's physical.
It's just all physical.
Yeah,
I mean, like
absolutely.
Does personality and spirit come into play where you can still have the looks, but you have other things, and then people kind of play into that? Because remember, earlier I was saying that whatever makes the company money, we go with.
I see what you're talking about, because sometimes they may not be the prettiest or the nice looking person, but their personality, it just draws people in, and they tend to get a lot of perks because they know how to draw people into them. I've seen that also. So I guess pretty perks depends on the individual, on how people look at it.
The eye of the beholder. Is that what I hear you saying, Bola?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just be asking the questions. I mean, on like blatantly and on the outside, we know that it is physical appearance. But like, I guess the way I should have asked it was, are there times where personality, spirit, and everything else, does that ever come to surface in some aspects? And have y'all witnessed it?
Well, you have to depend on what you're using pretty as. If you're using pretty as an adjective, an adverb, a noun, or a verb.
Right. Okay.
In each instance, it can be different. You can have a pretty, you could be pretty a personality, or you could be a pretty woman, which you're talking about the exterior. I think what we were trying to discuss was the actual image of a woman as far as the exterior of a woman or the exterior of a man in this conversation. But you can make a argument for the pretty personality or handsome character or whatever for on the other side of that, on a more spiritual and more in-depth side of it. My personal opinion.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to. Okay. Margo?
Oh no, I was just thinking my thought on it. It's only so long as that person's beauty gonna hold you before you be true with yourself and your answer within yourself, as far as how long are we gonna take this and how long are we gonna really be in it. You have to look a whole lot deeper. Have to I think that your own personal growth and your growth with a person that you might even be interested in. If it's just surface level beauty, you're not going to be a part of that for long at all. I would hope that each individual is a whole lot than surface
And that's important. And that's important as the name, or one of the names that we know about so well. It'd be dope to infuse that context with presenting what do you have based on this, based on statistics, but also empowering individuals at the same time while ridiculing them at the same time. You know, that's very important.
I think it's a balance.
Yeah,
It's a balance. Yeah, it's a balance of the inner and the outer beauty. Because some people, they have their inner beauty shines so much that they become beautiful. They stay that youthful look. But as long as they know how to balance things in life, you know, why
I'll
not?
say this. I'll say this too. You know, if you find yourself, you know, you're in the corporate world and or somewhere, some job, and you find yourself in that situation, I think sometimes it comes down to whether or not you feel like that is your job that you're going to stay at for a long time. You might just be there marking time, getting skills before you move on to something else. And if it is your job that you want to move up the ladder within that situations, and you know that you cannot change the people that are making decisions, this is a test of your inner strength. This is, can you still do the job? Can you still hang in there and hold it down in the midst of the situation going on? Because I truly feel if you are true to yourself and if you are doing a good job, that you are going to be rewarded at some point. Something else is going to come to you if you're just being the best you in that situation. Something that you can't change. Just be the best you that you can in that situation.
What about that woman? What about that woman that just for the sake of argument, let's just say that woman that I would say sacrificed, that used her physical attributes to get into that certain powerful position, and then becomes a part of the hiring process, actually looking at the attributes that are required to get the job. You guys feel like, do women feel like, y'all feel like women are actually doing that?
I mean, I feel like women do it, but I feel like this. The old folks saying is everything that goes around comes around. I say all that you send into the lives of others will come back into your own. I feel like if you do these kind of things to gain position, at some point it's going to come back to you. People who cheat in any way to get ahead, you've got to be careful because that's coming back to you in some form or another. I don't care what it is.
Well, I'm saying, like,
Vic, I got a question.
Go ahead, Bola.
Is her beauty in place of her lack of knowledge, or is she using her beauty and her knowledge to get up the ladder?
Her beauty and her knowledge. She used her beauty to get to that position and opening doors for women that actually have the knowledge, despite how they look. You have the knowledge. You have the requirements. You have the prerequisites. You feel like. Go ahead.
I said I'm gonna use the whole package.
I am too. I mean, I don't see anything wrong because she's not hurting. Because sometimes that beauty can be a curse on her.
No. What I'm saying is now that this young lady got using those attributes to get that position, is she opening up doors for women that supposedly don't have those attributes that she had to get that position?
Oh, you saw she happened to. Well, you know, it depends. Again, it depends on how it was built and who it was. Because if the person solely knows that they put her in position because it was something that they wanted out of her, you never know what might happen if they don't get whatever out of her or she doesn't perform. It really depends on that situation. Yeah, you're saying that she opening doors to the women behind her. She might just be locking a door for the ones behind her. I've seen that happen too.
No, that I get. But in terms of women that actually has what is required, and the young lady who has those beautiful attributes, it's like, okay, I'm done with that. Now, let me hire the women that knows what the hell to do. Let me hire these individuals. Let me hire these people that knows what to do.
But that goes back to an individual. Some individuals are about themselves. Other individuals are about helping people around
people.
Yeah.
So Rick, was your question more so women who do that, are they setting a precedence for those to follow? Is that what you were saying, or was your question what it was when you said it?
Not to follow. It's more like, okay, like making it, I would say, in a sense, like making a sacrifice, like, okay, in order for me to get this job, I need to dress a certain way, all right? All right, enough of this bullshit. Now that I got the job, I'm a part of the hiring process. Now I want to hire people. I want to hire women that knows what the hell
they're doing
with this job. I don't give a damn about you.
Oh, I got you.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sure there are women who have done that.
Yeah.
What?
To me,
I'm
I've
sure.
seen that. Open them up a door, and then once you're talking about to bring other people in after she's opened that door. Yeah, I've watched that before.
Okay, so what you're saying is, does that woman play the sacrifice to get in and then make the change once they're in? Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like how often is that seen from a woman's perspective? Like those that have worked in a job, like my wife working at that place, that place. And is there like even yourself, babe? Have you seen a difference? Women getting a certain amount of power and
not at my ghetto fabulous job. My job is real ghetto fabulous, and it really is about who you know. And I don't know nobody.
Even in the past, baby. Even in the past.
Well, in the past, I've seen it on women who have good looks.
Mm-hmm. More so,
they have good looks and they don't know what they're doing, and then it's, other people that's carrying the weight doing the job because they got it on their good looks.
Or
I mean, you can also look at fraternities and sororities. Sororities, a lot of times they have a certain look that they want in their sorority, say AKA versus Delta.
Frat, brother, or frat.
Okay.
Well, you said women right now, so I'm talking about you said women, so
it goes both ways. Lest we forget, it does go both ways, but yeah. Go ahead, Pop.
Oh, it does. But you said women, so we talking about women, right? I'm not going to talk about meat when we're talking about potatoes.
He asked.
Dude, make your point. I got a point.
The point is that they have the women who want a certain look in their sorority, and they're not going to have the women, or say, for instance, say they want the light-skinned, thin women in their sorority, say the A's, and then the B's want looking more of like dark-skinned women. It's like the old picture of what's that, School Days or whatever. But it was obvious that they had a certain look they want. Even and back to what you said about the fraternities had the wannabes and the jigaboos.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remember that?
Yeah.
So they had a certain look that they want, that they deemed that was beautiful, and the other people deemed that another look was beautiful. The dark skin, natural hair, thought dark skin and natural hair was beautiful, and the light skin and the other sorority thought the light skin, almost white, was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both sororities are full of women.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of think now there's a lot of other things that go to play. Like I'm in the film industry, so at a certain point, of course, it was just about the looks coming in, but now it's a little bit different. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to use Shonda Rhimes as an example. She didn't have that particular look, but she had that particular influence to get herself into a place of doing her first shows. And once she started building those programs like Grey's Anatomy and Private Practice and just on and on and on, she was able to, pull in more people behind. It happens once you get into a position, whether it is her or an Ava DuVernay or Yvette Lee Bowser or, whoever it is, once they get into some type of position, it's not as much as you had to do just with looks back in the day, because we as a society, we are changing too. We are to a point where it's not solely just on the looks of a woman any longer. Pretty privilege does exist, but you do have a lot more that comes to play these days.
And Tanya, I also think, the era in which we're
Yes.
well,
Yeah. Because now in this era now, it's not the same as it used to be. Yeah, the pretty
mhm,
privileges with the Kardashians, the Hadid girls, or the
mhm.
young ones like that. They may have that, but they're not CEOs, like either. They're like the recipients of some lower position, even though they try to build their empires mostly based on nothing. Kylie Jenner, but
I
sorry,
will say
shade,
no more about what you said.
shade,
Yeah.
allegedly shade.
Mhm.
No, like that's kind of what I wanted to speak on when y'all were talking about that, but it kind of like
Mhm.
teetered on more like light skin and dark skin. But like when I was in high school, I was gothic. Like I was hardcore gothic. And so like, but when I was in high school, the ideal beauty was blonde hair, blue eyes. Because
That's
Britney
always
Spears,
been
but
that
yeah, but I mean
back
Britney
in
Spears
our
was
day
still,
too.
but Britney Spears was still really big, and Christina Aguilera was still really big. So like that type of look was still really big while I was in high school. So I was on the total opposite side of the spectrum. You know what I
I
mean?
got you. Yeah, I definitely
So
got you there.
that's where I was trying to go earlier, but I had to step back for a minute because the conversation went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what, y'all? I think that we have beat this death.
And you made a good point. That's what they judge beauty on.
Mhm.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Then that's how they try to judge the rest of us
Mhm.
on what beauty
Right.
the Ken and Barbie
That's
look.
that's what built the privilege
In the
in
infamous
the
words
media.
of Lauryn Hill. In the infamous words of Lauryn Hill, come again.
That was one of my jazz right there.
Good.
Okay, y'all. We're gonna go to break real quick. We come back and end the show in just a second. So y'all hold tight.
Well, before we end, do y'all want to see Gothic Shannon since he's over here making jokes in the chat? Okay.
Oh yeah, come on, show me.
Y'all better be
Hold up.
gentle. Y'all better be gentle with me. I could have been a little Gothic movie star back in the day with my little old eyebrows that I didn't have. Hold on now. Y'all better be gentle with me.
Okay, you got it.
Hey.
Oh, baby. You're cute. You're cute, little devil.
That's like
Little devil, you're so ugly.
That's like Nancy and
Cute.
hanging out with
I would have put some holy water on you.
Man, I cannot tell you how many
You look
times.
like what's the
I
name
can't
of
tell
the
you how many
Addams
times in
Family?
class they be like,
That's who I was thinking. I said, how should I put it on
Wednesday.
Really? I thought she was so cute.
Wednesday.
who?
Adam's Family.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
With her big old forehead. Yes.
Did you have her attitude too?
Well, okay, so there were many
Uh-huh.
times when I would go to take school pictures and they would be like, okay, you should smile. And I laugh my ass off telling this story now. But with the straightest of faces, I looked this girl straight in her face because she was like, oh, we're about to take a picture, you should smile. And I was like, I don't smile.
You were serious with your God standing.
You could have killed me with that one.
The whole.
No.
Wow. Well, it's good to see the flashback on the Wild Child.
It's all good. Shannon. It's all good.
Well, you know what, y'all? It's been a nice night of talking about pretty privilege and the Victoria's Secret meltdown and the lady being taped to the chair, the plane, and all that kind of stuff. It's about time.
Been a lot.
Yes, it's quite a lot. So it's time to head for that wrap now. So as we wrap, I'm going to go the opposite side down here. I'm going to start with Pops and find out what you have coming up next week as we get on out of here. What's going on, Pops?
Pop's doing what's doing. My baby boy is going to college. So he's getting all his registration done. He was accepted at TCU.
All right.
So I'm very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. And I'm dealing with the empty nest syndrome.
Empty nester.
I'm very proud of myself. I'm trying to adjust to it, not try to get too buck wild. I ain't trying to have no flashback from yesteryear. So I'm trying to just like embrace myself in my businesses. The one is, you can reach me at Pops Guy, and the Pops Guy is all about sharing wisdom with all the people who maybe didn't have that father figure in their family or in their atmosphere or whatever. After that, I'm looking at looking at option trade, and I have a course August the 7th where I'm learning how to option trade from a guy named Billy Carter, which is a pretty good guy, and looking just take it to the next level in everything I do, and build some systems. My focus right now is SOPs. So if you hear me say SOPs, standard operating procedures for everything I do, to have it systematic where even if I wanted to sell it one day, it'd be a sellable business.
Right on.
Okay. All right, Pops. Thank you, Pops. All right. All right, Tashiba, thank you for joining us tonight. What you got going on this week?
This week we got pretty quiet, but the end of the month is our 15-year anniversary, so it's going to be quiet for a little bit.
All right.
You can find me at Sheba Sweets on Instagram and Facebook, and check out my soaps, bath salts, and body butters, and be looking for some new stuff. I'm kind of excited about my new line called the Empress Code. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. Thank you, Tashiba. All right. Margo, you ready to talk to us? What you got going on this coming week?
Yeah, not much. Just life. Life is happening next week. That's
I know that's right. We're trying to get
a lot more arts and crafts, a lot more organizing and decluttering my life. I got a lot of stuff going on for the most part, and just more planning with my sister, with our book club, with our party planning, that kind of stuff that's coming into the work. So it's starting to get going again. So that's all, just trying to get with her and throw some ideas together and see how big we want to make this and take this. That's about it.
I know that's right.
Okay. All right. All right. In the words of Mike, Shannon, what you got going on this week?
Okay, so I'm working on these lewd paintings, right? Which, by the way, I got pretty far on this while we've been talking. So, but I've got a lewd art show. Hold on, let me see if I can do this.
What you saying you got? What you saying you got?
Let me see if I can. Okay. So I'm gonna share. Is it sharing the screen?
No.
It's not. Dang.
No,
okay.
It's not.
So
do you all have the ability?
I like a little flyer. Yeah, hold on. Okay. But so I have an art show on the 25th, and it is at the Urban Arts Center, which is 807. I'll just read it. It's 807 Hutchins Road, and like I said, it's the 25th. And it's there's gonna be like dancers and fashion, and yours truly is gonna be there with like art to sell. I'll have at least like 12 pieces to sell on top of clothes. And I'm working on getting a few prints ready because I've had a lot of requests for the collar one. So I'm getting all those ducks in a row this week. So the 25th I'll be ready, and then I have another showcasing in September. That's going on.
And Lord knows what's going to happen between here and then. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, and you can follow me on all social media at Element Rose 13, and that's everything from Facebook to TikTok to Instagram, whatever.
All right. All right. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much. Rickness, what you got going on?
Just as I said before, taking depictions of once was Austin, the growth, the development, the experiences, things that are not spoken of, that have been blocked out by way of gentrification, and applying those attributes to canvas. Basically, just telling my own story and just making it known. So that's coming real soon, and welcome y'all to it. And so that's siachiart.com /Rick_Adams with an S _West, or just Rick West Art on Siachi Art.
It's in the description, I believe. I have it in the description.
You got
Okay.
it. You got it.
Okay. What is going on with Bola?
Bola having technical difficulties.
Bola, poor Bola.
She's
getting her head
You know what I wanted to do? I'm like, get that.
Try to pull it out.
Not yet.
We got like
I thought I was starting to see something. Yes.
Bola,
What you got going on, girl?
Bola, try something new tonight.
Okay, Miss Bola, what you got going on this coming week?
What do I got this week?
Yeah.
I'm waiting to get my nonprofit back. From this group I'm lining it all up so I can start getting grant money. I am a coach, and I love to help women to amass their identity, transform their relationships, and align the mindset. I have a YouTube channel called Spiritual Recovery Coach, and you can also find me on Facebook with Spiritual Recovery Coach. And I've got a couple pages, and I talk about how things of God can help activate your life and help you move forward. That's it, Tanya.
You said I kept trying to move out of the way on the side of your poster there.
Oh, I don't think you can see.
All right, y'all. Well, you know what I do. First, I'm going to hit you with my social media and then tell y'all what's going on with me. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media. You know, Tanya plans on bringing more graphics. I get tied up sometimes during the week, and then I don't want to change things so quickly. So, of course, I'll be doing more because, like I said earlier in the show, I'm doing a music video very soon here. Also, been talking back to y'all Brown Peoples again. So they're going to be still coming on. And we have some other interviews that are going to be lining up, teaming back up. Me and my manager are going to get some stuff going. And I'm going to let you all know when it comes to Soul Spotlight, I'm going to do a lot of interviews. If it's somebody who you're like, I want to sit in on that interview, yes, you just call me and I'll bring you in on the Soul Spotlight and you can come and sit in on the interview. And, you know, as long as you ain't unmuting mics and stuff, we all good. So we all good. Yeah, it's very calm over there on the Soul Spotlight. So we're just going to interview a lot of folks, a lot of stuff coming. Kind of keeping that tight lip until it all goes down. And there's a lot of other things that have my stomach nervous. Can't talk about it, but it's all coming down the wire. So y'all stay tuned for that. All right. But I thank you all so much all the time for being here. Even when y'all want to fight with me, call me Terrible Tandy.
Oh, Lord. Who they came from?
They came from Pops. Look.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax off. But you know what, y'all, I think you'll know this. Rich should know this from working with me in real life. Tandy don't play on the technicals. I'm a technical director again, and I love doing all the technical stuff. And so just being able to touch everything and make everything move is right down my line. So I mean no harm. I just like to get it all done. All right. But thank you all for being here, and thank you all out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The viewers appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a great show tonight. But I think it was a little calm, the whole pretty privilege thing. Yeah. And next week we'll start back up again. We'll just go back on some stuff again on a hard edge, and y'all stay tuned for that. Pops is already hitting me with topics to get us ready for that. So we're going in. All right.
Hey,
so thank you all.
guys, participate. If you got stuff out there that you see, bring it to the group. Tandy Terrible is very open to almost anything. I mean, she's gonna make sure it's not gonna get scratched against us. But other than that, she's pretty open for everything out there. So guys feel like she know her. I text her like every other day, actually. I
just thought, hold on.
And I am very open to various topics out there. If you out there want to send us a topic or want to be a guest, the website is tandyland.com, TANDILAND.com. You can do info@tandyland.com, or if you write it through Gmail, it's tandiail@gmail.com. Hit us and let us know if you have a suggestion that you want to bring to the table. We're very open to the topic. Shannon, did you have something you wanted to share?
No, I'm trying to find something because he was like, if you have anything you want to bring to the table. And I was like, I just remembered something, so now I'm looking for it.
Okay. Well, we are very open, to bringing things. Do I see Veronica trying to come in here?
Shannon, before she put anything up there.
No, I'm not going to put anything up.
I think we have a view of Veronica over in the corner. She's going to be coming in upcoming weeks. Yeah, she's going to have her technical stuff back together because her location and her phone just does not agree with StreamYard. She tries every week in StreamYard, and Veronica's whole connection just does not go. So coming soon for her, for now. So she shall be back.
Everybody.
Hey, Rock. Hey. Well, we are about to sign it all off, y'all. Appreciate it once again. You all hold tight. We see and hear you. Well, y'all hold for the credits. Everybody else out there, I thank you so much for tuning in. I am Tanya Dixon, and this is the AIO Panelist Living Room Team. And we'll see you next time. You have a beautiful week. We'll see you next time on Art Imitates Live.